I know. Good morning. It's still morning? I'm not sure what time it is. Last time I checked, it was 11:11. Well, I didn't check on purpose, but I was texting Kirsten and I saw the timestamp. How's it going? Happy Sunday.
Is there anyone in there?
Yes. But even if nobody is, I still talk to myself as if somebody's there. Because, right?
Right.
And if nobody is, I still... Hey dudes, how's it going, eh? Oh. A little bit of flipping, a little bit of screen. Let me get my glasses. Hey, Crunchy Bee. How's it going? I see Crunchy Bee, John Ross, Alex G, and Shannon 222. And I'm gonna roll off the first comment I see. Crunchy Bee seems like only my negative thoughts manifest. Dude, thanks for writing it out. Crunchy Bee seems like only my negative thoughts manifest. Same on some level. Sometimes it's like, how's this stuff going so fast? And like the good stuff is like not quite happening the same way. I completely get it. And from like the what do I say? How do I say it? Like we're purging it all, right, Crunchy Bee? So all that negative shit and all that stuff and all those things have to come through in order to get to the other stuff. That's all I can. Hold on tight. Hold on tight, Crunchy Bee. You got this, man. I'm gonna tell you how thoughts can manifest fast. So the other day I was thinking, like, where are the men who were just brave and bold, right? Like old school. I see you, I'm gonna fucking talk to you. And so guess what happened? Within the like fucking 24 hours, I'm sitting in my car with Lily Rose in the takeout of the coffee, and just sitting there in my car minding my own fucking business. And all of a sudden I look and there's a man coming, and I think he's going towards the garbage because people don't talk to people in a line of a takeout. But no, he came to hand me his phone number out of the blue. And inside of me is like, first of all, like, what the fuck? And he was so bold to give me his number and say, here, if you ever want to talk. But meanwhile, it's like he was too shy to say his name, and I was too shocked to even ask, because like, meanwhile, we're in a takeout, a line. So I didn't call because I don't feel that there was nothing to connect me to him, first of all. But what it did was my thought of like, where the bold men that do just out of the blue have the balls to do something, I still manifested it because it was like, and that's the thing, Crunchy Bee, is like, it's like our purest thoughts that we just think they manifest like this, but when we want to manifest something, it's not the same way because we have a want, a desire, an expectation, like we want it to manifest, right? So anyways, that's just a little quick blurb of like how thoughts can manifest really quick, and then not wrapping around that, enough details of like what you need, right? Does that make sense? Anyways, just a little thing in there. But John Ross, love the title. I think it's important, John. Our thoughts are things, right? And especially within, the last months, all the energy coming in, the chaos as above, so below, everywhere. It's so easy to forget that, all you got to do is breathe, recenter, and it's like in the song U2, Hold Me Close, Iris, forget the world, it isn't there, right? Forget the world, it isn't there. U2 song lyric, I know, but forget the world, it isn't there, because it isn't, right? On a certain level. How's it going, Alex G? Shannon, you're in the eye of the hurricane? What's it like for you so far? At this point, I'm not worried about any of the people, because a lot of you guys are in that kind of spot. But I will say this, is if you're inside of you tells you to do something, like, don't go against inner guidance right now, even if it's not logical, right? No matter what. This is this is where that thing of we are protected. We are, but you have to listen to yourself. You have to follow the syncs. So it can be as simple as, you know, being in a certain room, being, you know, driving somewhere, going somewhere random when it's just guided to you. But that's the most important thing, is to follow instinct all the time, Shannon. Especially if it makes no sense and it's out of the blue, your soul is guiding, your higher self is guiding you, right? Coffee time? Right on, Shannon, because you wrote that. You're going to have a sippy sippy.
Pinkies up.
Pinkies up, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, that way. How's it going? Why are you all laughing? Ooh, look at that glasses emoji. It looks different. Hey, Trippy Sunless. How's it going for you? Alex, I see you guys are still hot in the house. Yeah, it's toned down.
Humid.
It's humid. Thanks, Lily. It's humid. So yesterday was cooler, and the evening night was cooler, but the humidity is in the air. So, but it's not so like hot and like muggy as it was. So it's nice that kind of there's been a release. Hey, Brightest Dawn. You double dip in. Brightest Dawn, Trippy Sunlass. Hey, 30 Acre, 11:32 Eastern Time. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Everybody saying hello. Brightest Dawn, breathe. Okay, me breathing. You'll be right back, Shannon? Okay, love you. Brightest Dawn, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm just gonna leave it at good. Sometimes if I ramble on about how I'm doing, then I kind of gonna sidetrack of like too many details. That way says I'm laughing because I'm a goof and I love myself. That's the best, dude. Yeah. I hope it gives you that feeling that, you know, like you're doing what you're doing in your neck of the woods and the West Coast there that way, and then you see I'm there, and then like that it makes you giggly. That's cool. Right? Like even if you were giggly before, that, you know, just that giggly. I get it. I get it. I get that way too when I'm happy and I want to see, and just like that thing. For real. Love you, dude. 38 Carrie doing great. Getting your sun gazing on right now. Rawr, nice. You got cloud cover at all today? What's the clouds looking like? Kind of like, what kind of shapes you got, if you got any? We haven't had sun today and yesterday. There was no moon visible anytime that I woke up. I could feel exactly, like I knew exactly where the moon was and could feel, you know, feel her and stuff, but didn't get a glimpse. The crows are really prevalently vocal today, and of course I say that right now they're really quiet, right?
I might even woke up to the crows.
Yeah.
The crows.
So be like on alert of the crows, and when they pick up. Sometimes I notice that as I'm speaking and what I'm saying, they're kind of like in tandem. So we'll see how it goes today. Maybe they'll just be quiet the whole time I'm streaming. We'll see. Oh, neato. That was the link I sent. I found a Breathe song after you said that. Cool. I'm gonna save it. Watch later. Since it's not one of us or anything. Yeah. I don't want to get flagged for copyright and stuff like that right now. Brightest Dawn says northeast and west. Who's got the south? 30 acre, where are you? I forget. If you feel like sharing, if I think you have. Are you in the south?
We're in the north.
We're the north, that's for sure.
Canada.
I guess that really Shannon at this point would be the south one. I know she's gone for a little bit, but she would be the south one. She's in Florida. I get it. Right on that way. Alex G, who's the gentleman here? Well, you are. You. 30 acre, the sun burns through the clouds and gets me a nice hot spot. Right on.
We don't need hot spots, we need cold spots.
Not too cold. Ah, you're in Florida as well. Naples, Florida. I'll remember that because Naples remind me of Italy, and Florida, well, I'll just remember. Yeah. Right on. Maybe SS will come in. I've said Florida enough times to get Saturnian sun in here today. 30 acre. I can definitely tell there's a hurricane near as the clouds are zipping by. Alex says bonjour à vous, Lily Rose.
Hi.
Hi. That's all you're gonna get, Alex. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Hi.
That way, you were in the Matrix Man's live stream last night when I was on for a while, weren't you? I wasn't able to look at the chat as much as like when I live stream alone. Lily, come on, dude. That's really loud, honey. Like I would only glance at it, especially because when I was on, there was like, 3 to 4 in the panel, so just kind of focusing attention there. But I thought I saw you in there. One of the things that was cool is when I said, we were talking about something. And then I said, like, I feel names before people come to me and stuff like that. And then I mentioned that right now the 2 names prevalent for me are Sherry, spelled whatever way, because it can be spelled so many ways, and Owen. And then Michelle reminded me and, shared it in the stream. Nate's middle name is Owen. So I'm wondering still if there's not another Owen, gonna appear within, somewhere. Or if that's the Owen that I've been feeling like a lot, I'm not quite sure.
My headphones just died.
As well, in the weird, like, kind of synchronicities of just things popping up randomly, often these days, Japan. Not in any specific way, but just Japan. The song, big in Japan. Samurai energy, big time. Just things popping up, or images, or I might be even having dreams. I'm not sure. I'm not remembering my dreams in the last few days, but I'm sleeping a lot. Like sleeping a lot. I find that yesterday, you know what I mean? If I count my nap and how much I slept at night, I slept more than half, of like maybe 13 hours in a 24-hour time span. When I went to bed last night, I woke up a few times, but just it's intense, deep sleep. Really intense, deep sleep. How's your guys' sleep time? Anyone having nightmares coming through? Anita had spoken about that a few days ago in the live stream, and I've had the validation through either articles or videos when I'm guided to certain things of that nightmare energy kind of passing through for many people. Just wondering. For myself, I'm like happier sleeping right now because things in dreams are just like coming together and feel good and safe, even if I'm not remembering them. If that makes any sense at all. Wombat spirit, be at home. 68. Wombat always reminds me of Agony and Gethsemane. no matter what. Where are wombats, anyways? Australia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and other places.
Where do wombats exist? Because I
Where
never.
are wombats?
Ooh, Lily's gonna check it out. Where are wombats? I think it's Australia, eh? Do wombats just appear everywhere in Australia, or that's just like random regions? I wonder. Hey, my Skies 5D, me loves you too.
Forests and wait. Where are wombats?
Love you too, my Skies 5D. You came in at 11:43 Eastern Time. That means we're gonna roll in 11:44 together in a couple seconds.
What country are wombats in?
That way, you was popping in and out. You was busy. Right on.
I don't know.
That's fine, Lily.
She just said they inhabit forests and fields.
Okay.
That's
Forests and fields. Okay.
not where.
Alex says the top chat is going crazy. Sometimes it shows that there's no one. I know, eh? Oh my gosh. It's like, because I don't really focus on it, but the number is like, boom, it's 11:44 now. How about a second of silence? I'll pull a card really quick at 11:44, see what comes up. Yeah, sometimes it shows that there's no one, and sometimes it's like you guys are chatting and it's like showing me there's nobody. And that's when I wonder, Alex, though, if it's buffering. So I appreciate when you actually tell me if it's buffering or not, because then I know, yeah, y'all are still there. It's just not showing up for right now. Offerings.
Girl.
What do I think of Anne Brown? I'm not actually sure who Anne Brown is unless she's the chick that I've been watching sometimes. Give me a second. I just watched a vid. I think that's her name, but she doesn't allow access to comments, and you know how I am. That's Anna Brown. Yeah. Is that the video you meant yesterday? I wish you would have just sent it to me without using the word trigger, because I cried like a fucking baby after my stream yesterday, eh? I did. I lost my shit. There you are, SS. Dude, boom. I was just saying, I said Florida enough times already. I've only been on 20 minutes, but I've said Florida enough times. Maybe SS will show up. And there you are. Loves you, dude.
Mushroom.
Yeah, I'm really appreciating the energy of Anna Brown, to be honest. My Skies 5D, I kind of needed her big time. She's the one that I shared in a random video, sharing a link video a couple days ago. Yeah, she's important. You do, 30 Acre? I get that card all the time. Wombat Spirit? Right on. I'm going to read the offerings in a second. I'm just going to catch up.
Dream.
My Skies 5D. My garbage is on the way out of my van. That's a step closer. Alex, I think that wombats lives where tacos live. It's raining tacos. My Skies 5D says, I love Anna Brown. She makes my scalp tight. That way, I love her. She's very neutral. Yeah, and that reminder, right? Because even within like a woke community and like tribe vibe, people are judging and saying that we're not enough, not doing enough, and blah 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 all the time, right? On a certain level. So to be able to like get back to that kind of like, yeah, right? You don't need to, we're not here to prove anything. And that's one of the things, the ripple effect of like that inner knowing that we don't have to prove anything to anybody. We just naturally gravitate to people who feel good to be friends with and to encourage each other and stuff like that, right? Nobody needs to prove anything to be my friend, but the only thing I need is like that basic respect of certain fucking shit in order to be able to continue to have any interactions, right? We're not here to project and like fucking like trigger each other and certain things. We're here to like elevate each other. Oh, what you cooking, SS?
What's drinking good looking?
Ooh, Lily Rose says, what's cooking good looking? Oh, I'm gonna share it. I showed Lily Rose this morning. Did y'all see Frack's video with Saturn? Holy shift balls. That was awesome. Where is it? There it is. Share. I'm gonna put it in the description, not in the description, but in the bottom of the chat here. I'll just put a little bit of it on because that's worth it. Holy shit, eh? I saw this at like 5 a.m. when I woke up and I just randomly looked at my phone. I saw this and my only comment I could make was like, I have to remember to show this to Lily Rose when she wakes up.
I love Saturn and space. I'm sorry.
Lily's a Saturn freak.
Yeah.
Freak.
Freak.
A freak. She's like a
Yeah,
Saturn
I love
freak.
Saturn and mostly anything space and astrology.
Am I buffering? Oh, there. It's okay. I thought that. Yeah, so I shared it. I'm not going to play it all, but that was cool, eh? I'm Neptune, to be honest. Neptune is like my...
I'm all Saturn.
My Skies 5D, how did you find her? I didn't leave any information. My Skies 5D, dude, I shared her in a random video. I'm gonna go check the date. 2 days ago, I did like a short vid saying sharing a link. And I shared a video from her from last week. Because when I saw her and what she's saying is just like, that's it, right? That's it. And so, like, basically, if you would have just said yesterday, like, not spoken the same way, but I guess I needed the triggering, right? The pizza is what triggered me, like, because I was talking, I was hungry, and I was about to end my stream. Somebody comes to deliver pizza at the door. It's not even mine. And that just started to, like, just, I don't know, make
And
me
then
fucking
Amy
sad,
gave
right?
us half a pizza.
Yeah, so we received a half a pizza later on in the night. So yeah, I had already been guided to her, like, 24 hours ago. Not sure what you mean by that. My Skies 5G. Do you know how many words you use that I had to go look up? There's a lot of words, Genevieve. Trigger is not high on the list. Well, isn't that weird? I wanted to share with you, and you had already found her. Yeah, I found her when I needed her, like, and honestly, the only reason I haven't gone back in and looked for other videos is just because I don't really watch a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I really don't. And just trying to grasp what I already got. And that's the thing, eh? Is we all use certain words differently. So, SS Alex, I'm cooking bacon, sausage, eggs, potatoes on a toasted hoagie bread with cheese. Oh my gosh.
With cheese?
With cheese? With cheese? Alex says, wow, right now I'm salivating. I know, me too. Oh my gosh. 30 Acre Jupiter is where it's at. I don't know how to read that out loud. 30 acres. Saturn's meaning is boundaries. No bueno. I don't know what that means. SS. Boundaries for sure, but there's much more to it. That's the thing, though, is that this is what pisses people off about me, is that I don't read nor gather information of stuff, and I don't walk the planets of, because what humans or what's ever been known, right? What resonates, what feels good is what. So the implications of Saturn and certain things like that doesn't resonate with me. Nor Lily Rose, right? It's like, you know, Satan, Lucifer. Everybody wants to blame everything on Satan and Lucifer, but guess what? You know, you made your choices. You just don't blame the fucking devil. You don't blame Lucifer. You fucking chose that. This is just a good excuse, right? To be blaming stuff somewhere. Anyways, I'm not gonna. Michael is Jupiter. Offerings. The universe is grateful for you. You are a gift to the world. Feel gratitude for everything in your life, even the things that don't seem perfect. Appreciation for everything flows through you in great bounty. Ooh, bounty, mateys. Cherish the preciousness of life and everyone and everything around you. Thus you will be cherished. Boom. Thus you will be cherished. Yeah. That makes so much sense, eh, guys? True thankfulness can work like a modern day alchemy in your life, yielding happiness and peace beyond imagination. It's simple. Find what's good and wonderful in every moment. No matter what's happening around you, there's always something to be grateful for. Whatever you appreciate in life will grow. So discover what you're thankful for, even the people and situation you found challenging, and watch the miracles unfold. Be right back. Okay, SS. Thank you. Hey, Angel Fish, Spirit-Led Babies, 24/7. How's it going, Angel Fish? Saturnian Sun, this is going to be a good stream. Sweet. SS says, we got a company from out of town, so we're eating like kings now. Nice. Good. Good.
Amy's here.
Do you need me? What are you doing? J'ai rien, Amy. Je t'ai demandé de l'argent l'autre jour pour aller faire des épiceries, bébé chat. J'ai dit, j'ai rien, Amy. Je t'ai demandé de l'argent l'autre jour pour des épiceries, bébé chat. Ben, c'est bien correct, là, mais tu sais, comme, j'ai rien. J'ai une semaine à faire avec qu'est-ce que j'ai comme c'est là pour nous deux, là. Oh, wrong glasses. Angel Fish, son of Saturn, love your face. No kidding, eh? Me too. I said Saturn was once the second sun. Angel Fish, I'm not sure what that means, sweetie. At 12 a.m. this morning, I took out the Xbox and shut it down. I'm not sure what that means, sweetie. Yeah, 30 acre, right. Don't blame Satan. Right. And that's the thing, is that Satan becomes a program and becomes like, it became and becomes and continues to be a program because of the belief, the mindset. Like, let's just blame everything on that, right? Like, fuck. No. Take accountability and, you know, you chose to do things. Anyways. Angel Fish, the ringing is getting louder and louder. I want to barf. My tummy is so queasy. It's day 4. Are you able to eat, honey? De quoi tu cherches? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Amy, qu'est-ce que tu fais?
puppies started yesterday. They're already almost done.
Patience. Saturnian sun, finger pointing does no good at all. Exactly. Yeah, Angel Fish, me completely agrees with you. Fingers are for boogers. They're for picking stuff.
I'm making sure.
Alex says, don't burn the breakfast, Gary. Yeah, pay attention to what you're doing, dude. We don't want to be, I don't want you to point the finger at me that it was my fault that you burned the breakfast. Oh, my Skies 5D. I've been following Anna for about 3 years, but she's slowed down lately. She just had a baby. That makes so much sense. Like I said, I didn't go back into any videos, but that baby energy is very surreal around her. Thanks for saying it, my Skies 5D. It's cooling down for USS. Which song do you mean, SS? SS 1157, my Genevieve. Thank you for the song you gave to us. Which one do you mean?
And I hate them. They're so gross.
Oh, the solar tsunami took out the Xbox. Whoa, dude. I was just reading comments in, fuck, I'm gonna share it. You guys might know this channel. Church bells, can you hear them? Suspicious observers. I was reading in the comment box and somebody was speaking of like if the phone lines got taken down, and my opinion is like bring it on. If we really just had a reset with no phones, no devices, no internet for a specific amount of time, that would get people into their inner, right? So people who are in resistance and not going within at all and just like bypassing, blocking it all, resistance, because it's so easy. You can distract, you can text somebody, you can troll people, you know, you can do so much, right? But if these things didn't work for a certain amount of time, what would that do for humanity? A reset of holy shit, you can't call anybody, you can't text, you can't distract by going to look at other people. It would bring people within really fast. So, you know, as whatever as it may sound, that's not scary to me.
You're not seeing my sister.
That's not scary to me if all of a sudden the phone lines and the internet went down. I would wish for a 3 to 10 day reset.
I'll see you later.
For real. For real. Why? Because those people, you know, even us, when we won't be able to talk to each other anyway at all, how you really have to be within and feel, right? Feel who's actually thinking of you, who's communicating with you and saying like, dude, it's okay, I got your back anyways, even if you can't say it face to face or finger to finger for a little while. Like, holy shit balls. You know what I mean? Just the energy of how many people actually pass through my stream versus who actually puts any of self through. Imagine the feeling of not being able, like when you had the ability all along to communicate with everybody, but you haven't been doing it. How grateful you would be if you had like a 3 to 10 days time frame where you couldn't see, look, talk to anybody. How after a certain amount of time you would be like, you would want to show yourself, right? When something gets taken away, you realize how much you fucking wanted it, and you feel like, oh, I should have done this all along, or when it comes back, I'm going to be all in. For real, you know? That's it. Yeah, the solar flares. What did she take?
Just orange.
Oh, nice. Angelfish, Merlin said he saw UFO over the neighbor's house. Like what? Merlin never says that stuff. That makes sense. And that's really in flow with the way that, you know, yeah, people won't be able to deny what they're seeing because it's all in plain sight and getting, plainer and plainer and more apparent all the time. Yeah, that way we're getting upgrades. We're getting upgrades, and it's not always pretty, right? Like, it physically is demanding. It's very demanding physically. Yeah, angelfish. I mean, Saturnian says to angelfish, correct food for the body type. Some are vegans for a reason. Exactly. I think that for myself, I stand by the way that I am. I am not of anything. I can be like a vegan for days or vegetarian for days or carnivore for days. You know what I mean? I just eat what feels right for myself. Especially during, I've talked about it before, but I'll re-mention it again. In the last 2 months, first of all, I've slept a lot more than, in the last 2 months, I've slept more than I have the whole year. Right? And sleeping sustained, like really long periods, like 2 to 5 hours solid, deep at a time, and then falling back to sleep after being awake. And I've eaten more in the last month and a half than I did probably all year long together as well. My food intake with all these energies just it's been grounding me. You know what I mean? Like when my body starts shaking and it's meat. It's a burger that it wants. Like that's what my body wants. It needs it. And when I've had it, I'm not having like tummy stuff. Like, my tummy is like, wee, thank you. Like, and my whole body just is happy because I give it what it needs, what it wants. Angelfish, burnt toast and marmalade. I mean, I don't really like marmalade. I was really young and I loved the word marmalade and I never really got to taste it. And then when I was like all of a sudden got to taste marmalade, I was kind of disappointed. I didn't really like it, but I still like the word. Marmalade. That I don't, maybe I've never tasted a marmalade though, right? That I could like. Maybe. But it says, I like Judaism, but I love pork. I'm a walking contradiction. Boom, you said that exactly at 12 noon as the church bells were ringing. I'm just catching up, SS. I think that's the most important thing to know self. You are a true soul, true to their heart, true to their real integrity, is a walking contradiction. Why? Because middle road, there's no good or bad. And so you're always like contradicting yourself because of certain things. And that's beautiful to me, right? Someone a couple years ago, a little bit of cucumbers and salt.
Where is salt?
Strawberries. Cucumbers smell so good. Yeah. I said that to somebody. They were texting me and they said one thing, then they said another thing, and he was like, I'm so sorry. It was David Matthew. He's like, I'm so sorry. I just contradicted myself. And I was like, no, that's perfect. That's perfect because both things you said are right, are real, and they make sense. I don't remember what the specific thing was, but it was real. 30 acre. I like pork as well, but when I eat it, my gosh, my body totally rejects it. Exactly. And that's the thing is like the keeping the memory of food, 30 acre, and eating it because, you love it. But if your body is not loving it, then it's not as good for you anymore. And, do you work in tandem with your body to not have those yucky feelings? Or do you just bring it back in? It's a choice. But I know I make a lot of bacon jokes and I talk about bacon like a lot as a joke and just because of the, the familiarity of the bacon stuff, but I hardly ever eat any for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so rare. I personally don't really like pork at all anymore. And pork tenderloin, when I was a chef, was actually my favorite cut of meat to be able to be like so creative. Even now, like whip me a bunch of pork tenderloins and 100 people that need to eat, and I could like manifest something fast and amazing really quick, right? But I just don't necessarily gravitate to want to eat it. Personally, pork chops, just saying the word pork chops make me puke a little bit inside of me, because my ex like preferred pork chops the mostest of all. So for like fucking 4 years intense, it didn't matter how creative, how amazing of a chef I am, he didn't like to experiment. He didn't like new stuff at all. So fucking pork chops with like Montreal steak spice seasoning, like just looking at those would make me like back away. It's just like I cooked them for so long, man. Right? I was in
Still does.
Oh fuck yeah. I was in the restaurant industry most of my life, and nothing traumatized me as much as fucking, being with my ex for years and saying like, I could do this, I can make this, oh, I haven't made pasta, with olive oil and peppers and sausage in so long. Can I make that? Nope. And it's like, okay. All right. It's really hard when you're a creative chef, and like I like breakfast for supper a lot, and he didn't gravitate towards that. Yes, Fergalicious, me news it was Trace. We heard Fergalicious the other day. Was it 2 or 3 days ago in the car? We heard Fergalicious. I can't remember where we were going, but
I don't remember her.
yeah. Now when I hear it, I think about you, because you pinned your name as Fergalicious a few times, Trace B. I got you right beside me, sweetie. Whoop whoop. Trace B, right beside me. How's your day going so far? Did you sleep, Trace? Should I start another one? Oh, back? Okay. I'm watching my own stream, trying to see if it's buffering again or not. The double screen is so much easier for me to stream than when like just the natural app. The natural app, the way that first of all, the way you guys show up, there's no timestamp in front of your names. And no matter what, if you're blue or gray, it doesn't show up in the natural app. It only shows up like on this. And in the natural app, I don't even know how to put a moderator or, or anything like that. So that's why with the double screen, shows up better. As well, I've noticed often that when I did have to use just the one screen, and then when I don't, when I look at the both, how with the natural app, Streamlabs, which is amazing, it works amazing, but that sometimes comments don't even show up. Like they show up just in what I'm watching on the side here. So that's how it works the best. Hi, Infinite Plane. How you doing? Good morning. I say good morning, but it's 12:13 Eastern time. Fergalicious says saying the word Butterfinger makes me puke. I'm not sure why, but I completely get it. Hey, Emoji King says Infinite Plane and Hidden Continents. Ooh, Hidden Continents. Angelfish, cleaning chicken while hungover at the bar was the worst for me. Oh my gosh. When I actually started, like, there's a difference between helping out in a kitchen, being sous chef or whatever labels you want to put on it. That's not how it worked when I worked in restaurants. I didn't label my employees, right? And I kind of had multifunctional, everybody does everything people. That's how I like to have my teams. But when I first became head chef of the biggest kitchen that I've ever worked in, which, in one time, like there was there's the main floor that had, you could seat at least 100 people or more, depending on how we placed the chairs. There was a deck, 2 decks outside, patios, and then upstairs was a, you know, a fully functional buffet, like just a private room. So we could feed up to like 300 to 450 people, depending on, you know, what was needed at the time. I remember it was like, Angelfish, the rudest awakening that, you know, I'm in charge and I gotta stick my hand up all those fucking chicken butts and do like lots of fucking work with meat. I remember the first time like that I, you know, got a slab of filet mignon. I was like, oh, okay. And this is before like Google and internet back in the day, and I had my big chef book. I think I did not keep that. I gave all my stuff away. I didn't even keep it. So I had my big chef book, you know what I mean? Like old school book, not the internet with like visuals and stuff. And I'm looking at the stuff and it's like, okay, this is how I got to do it. And I, you know, I do the cut of meat, and just, it's amazing what you can teach yourself and what you can just go and do it when it's, you know, just get her done, right? But I would have people after who would invest in their own, like, you know, slab of filet mignon, and then, you know, could you come to my house, or I'll bring it to you. Can you transform it into, because they didn't want to do it themselves. Hey, Bravery, how's it going? Thanks, Infinite Plane, sending love your way, Genevieve. Me needs it. Thank you. Love back to you. Appreciating your vids these days, dude. Glad you came just into my reality. Bravery says, hey, King, I made you a video, but it's a little blurry. Nice, Fergalicious. That's so cool. Yes, I slept and I just woke up. Good. Yeah, Fergalicious is Trace B. Yeah, Angelfish. It's gonna be tricky. Shit's gonna hit mama and things are not gonna be working. I think that's what, first of all, that's what the collective needs, right? Humanity, humans want to be brought to the brink of themselves before they kind of do the inner work. And that's it. This is what people want. They, you know, the hardest part to grasp about all this is like, you know, we're here to choose love or fear, and that people prefer to choose fear, right? Like, it's just like, choose love, right? But people want that, you know, to be brought to the edge. They do. Oh my God, am I on mute? I'm not muted, am I? Okay, SS says turn off mute. Oh, my bad, that was me. I'm like, oh my God, have I been babbling to myself for like 5 minutes again? I haven't done that in so long, SS, that it's like, what? Did I do that? Emoji King, wake and bake? Are you making cookies?
Are you
Jack?
making bacon?
Jack says wake and bake. Are you making cookies?
Are you making bacon?
You making bacon, Lily says. Hi, Mountain Rain. I love you all, fam. Energies are really rolling. Yeah,
Fam.
sweetie. How you feeling, honey? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Yeah, the energies are really rolling for sure. And that's the thing, is that there is no, I try sometimes to find like somebody who's going to say like, we're, you know, no, we're going to have a little bit of calm, and just like, no, it's like sustain, like buckle in, you know, it's not going to get calmer. It's just going to be more. And that's it. Like, holy crap, eh? Yeah, yes. They need to see the brink, the edge, before they can see the huge void in front of them. Exactly. And that's why it's like, bring it on. Bring it on that there's no fucking way to contact people. Imagine somebody, because I say that and it's like some of us, right, need it as well. That we are in, I'm going to use we instead of they, because it's like we're all in this together, but the resistance, right? Like Mountain Rain, there are people who, you know, watch us all the time that want to talk, want to join in, but you know, we're so available. We're so there, just giving, give more for years, right? So imagine to have all that taken away for a certain amount of time is what's going to have to happen for people to like jump on board and become a part of us. We're not sitting here doing these vids, Judy, for our personal, like, oh, we want to be seen. We're doing it to gather people together and to fucking start to manifest a new world with new ways. Right? And we can't do it without all the puzzle pieces. We can't. We can't just jump ahead and manifest our fucking little reality alone. We didn't sign up to do that. Because if we had, we would have fucked off a long time ago. We signed up for this to bring everybody, leave no man behind. So, you know what I mean? Like, just, that's it. Like, fuck. Yes. SS says Awakening Lions. Dude, I saw that earlier in a comment. Literally, somebody wrote, let's just forget about the sheep. We just want to keep on waking up the lions at this point. And it's like, that's it exactly. But that's it exactly, is some of the like most sheepiest are the biggest lions. They're just not on, you know, got the click yet. So I said this before and I believe this, you know, some of us and a lot of people are going to be shocked at who the epic actual fucking lions and players are in this whole, like, you know, awakening, ascension, and new world, new ways, is people that you would have never imagined and you thought, you know, like, whatever, are the ones that we're waiting for to be able to, like, to pivot into a new reality and new awareness and new perspectives, new co-creating ventures, right? It's huge. People who don't even realize what gifts they have are the people that we're waiting for to merge with our gifts. If that makes any sense at all. 30 acre. Oh, be right. I'll be right back. I got some civilizations to repress. Just joking, but I'll be back. Ange says she's safe. Angelfish, thanks for saying so. And Angelfish asked, Trace, are you safe? Evacuated Louisiana? Not aware. All I know is that this is not a time for people. You listen to your gut instinct at all times. And the positioning of your body at all times, strategic protection is there, right? And that's it. Just gotta listen to where we're meant to be. For Delicious, Trace B says, Angel, yes, I am safe. Thank you for asking. Love you guys. Emoji King says, Wildwood Weed. Who sang that? I can't believe I can't remember who sings that song. Me not sure. I can't remember what that song actually is, Jack. Saturnian Sun says Jim Stafford. Oh, SS, that's beautiful. Just when I thought I wasn't making a difference, I seen others who tailed along to help. And that's so, yeah. That's beautiful, SS.
Minecraft.
That way, says High Mountain Rain, my favorite mountain. You're feeling really good, Mountain Rain?
Skin.
Good, sweetie.
Editor.
Emoji King. Last time I made a hamburger, my dogs and my skunks wouldn't even eat it. Emoji King says, don't be scared, but stocking up on cannabis and canned food. It's hard a little bit not to be scared on some level, Emoji King. 1221, you said that. I don't have an inflow of money right now, and I'm not stocked up on anything. And like, but basically, you know, if shit goes down, I got no choice but to drive to my fucking my family's house, if I can even get to it, depending on, you know, anything that happens. Because that's the thing, is in my reality, Canada never had borders, but they are implementing borders randomly throughout the year now, where going into Quebec from Ontario, you know, a couple hours away, that was never an issue my whole life, has become an issue. So I'm not in a position to be able to stock up, to the point where that's why I was kind of pissy with my daughter earlier. Like, don't fucking come up and look for food. Like, fuck, I asked you for money the other day if you could help us out, because I can't go do groceries, right? Like, fuck, don't come get more. You know, like, this has been for like almost a year sustained of like, okay, you know, she's my kid, she's my daughter, I help as much as I can, but I also see what she chooses to do with her inflow, and it's not being returned, and I you know, I can only do so fucking much, eh? I tried it again today for hours. It's supposed to be able to be like just certain buttons to be able to have the donation button activate within my Streamlabs, but it doesn't work because I don't have a PC, I don't have a computer, so I can't log in order to get the settings right. Judy says Gomer Pyle. Good one, Trace B. Yeah, Mountain Rain, exactly. I want my flippin' cabin in the woods, comfy fire, a sweet partner, damn it. But okay, if it's not this lifetime, but can we manifest anything? Exactly. I love you, Mountain Rain. You know what? I can't even imagine like being with a fucking partner anymore, because it's been fucking sucked dry out of me. Like my whole like, whoa, there's somebody for me. Even though I do deep down believe it. But that's just it. Can we just get to the cabin, me and you, Lily Rose, figure out who else is gonna come, and like, fuck, go ahead. You know, like, don't need the partner. I need sidekicks. Right? Like, fuck. The cabin in the woods. I've changed my algorithms completely on Instagram, and the only things popping up for me random right now are either tiny houses or like cabins in the wood, in order for me to just have the visual all the fucking time. This is what I'm heading for, right? That's it. This is what I'm heading for. Hey, Juice from the Sky. How's it going? SS says Mountain Rain, we create the next life here. I completely believe that, but I just do need it, SS, to get going a little bit, right? SS says, y'all need a man. I'm suggesting that way. I would if I could, but it's just not in me to not see and feel him as like, you know, one of my closest brothers, right? I can't bypass what certain things feel, right? So our body and our mind and our soul know what frequency is. It's not about just choosing a partner, it's about the partner, if that makes any sense at all. I'm gonna leave it at that. 6 and 5, trust the great mystery. Here comes the whale. Anyone feeling that whale energy? Anyone have any whale syncs right now? Bravery says to Angel, is your phone off? I'm not getting through with the texts. Mountain Rain says, Emoji King, I read your comment and I thought it read stock up on cannibals. So funny. I love it. Yes, stock up on cannibals, guys. Oh, Judy, I love when my eyes see different than what was written. And I say that, and spell check has been such a little cunt Yeah, I'm saying it cunt for me lately. I swear, everything I write, I'm looking at, it's fine. And then I press on send, and then all of a sudden I go back to read my comment or something, and it's like, that is not what was written. That is not what I wrote out, right? It's like, oh my fuck.
Mushroom gamer.
Juice from the sky. I feel rough as fuck. I'm getting on a boat on massive waves. How are you guys feeling? I'm feeling solid. I don't have the tippy in and out of worlds feeling the way that I did like whatever days this week. Feeling a lot more solid. Sleeping a lot, Tom. Sleeping a lot. I think that's helping me out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get it, Juice. Feeling seasick. And that's the word. It's so seasick, I know. I hope it passes for you, Tom. Yeah, that song was good, eh, guys? Is that what's going on in Australia? Saturnian Sun says Aussies are being arrested for leaving their own house, being placed on house arrest with no real cause. Yeah. I have Australia on the brain so much. First, the Wombat card that came out at first. So much that it was about 2 days ago or 3. I said to Anita, who's in Australia, I was like, she was watching a movie and she texted me stuff, The Stand specifically she was watching. So she texted me stuff and we talked about stuff because that movie is well, I've never really watched the movie. The book, Stephen King, The Stand, is pivotal. In Stephen King's The Stand, it's the flu that took people, that changed, humanity forever. It was a flu. And I read The Stand every year of my life from the time I was 15 to the time I was 39. So, you know what I mean? Like that flu thing. But I told her, I was like, I feel like watching Australia, the movie. But I don't have Netflix or anything anymore. But I do have Disney Plus that is shared from other people to me and Lily Rose. And so I went on Disney Plus really quick and I was like, holy shit, Australia is there. So I started watching it a little bit yesterday. And we'll see if I get back into it. But Australia is really prevalent in my sinks and just feelings right now. You gotta trust in the people will play the parts that they need to play. You know what I mean? Angelfish says, Juicy, it's leveling me, so I hope y'all can take care with love and understanding. And that way says, come see me, Bravery, and we'll go see Angelfish together. Bravery says, my texts are getting sent, but they're being returned. Fergalicious. Really, Trace? Nice. I connected with the whales in Hawaii, and that was amazing. That's beautiful. When I've been near the ocean, whether it be the Pacific or the Atlantic, it was more seals. On the Pacific, it was mostly more seals and a lot of other things, but mostly seals. And same with when I was on the Atlantic, well, not on, but near the Atlantic. The birds, first of all, the birds, no words for the birds. Yeah. Boom. Mountain rain. The blue water is really big for you right now, Judy. Juice says, yeah, Genevieve, totally stitch us by spell check. It's been getting me in trouble. I'm lucky nobody gets offended or kind of doesn't, it's just a natural part of, just read through or ask, right? It's never gotten me into trouble per se, but Aw, thanks, Infinite Plane. So relaxing here. Love it. Thank you. You gotta go, Mountain Rain. Well, thank you so much, sweetie. Thanks so much for popping through. It felt amazing. Loves you. Yeah, Fergalicious. I've been thinking and praying for Australia. Yeah, me too. Where's my goddess? There they are. I'm blessed to be where I am because although we had the longest lockdown in all of, I think, Canada, but Ontario for sure, our police officers here, Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie, so 3 of like the Northeast biggest, cities in the Northeast Ontario, they all agreed when lockdowns started that they would not stop and enforce and just stop and do things for no reason, that they agreed from like the beginning of lockdowns that they wouldn't do what other places are doing. So we're blessed with that part because there are provinces and places where there's reports of families that a son and a daughter-in-law went home to see their family and fucking getting taken down in their own fucking yard and certain things. So for myself, I really don't want to be where I am. I'm never going to pretend that I do because that's just bullshit. But I feel that if this is where we're meant to be and if it continues to at least stay that way, then at least I'm in the one spot where, the police decided, no, we're not going to do that, and that they're going to follow through, depending on how much shit has to accelerate. That being said, I learned last week there's 16 police officers in just our North Bay that are off on sick and stress leave. And I see that as positive, right? When anyone working any job says, like, I can't be here right now. That's the bravest, boldest thing to do. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's important. Something happened to me when I went and got a coffee today. Right? You know how, like I say, I'm really friendly with my people when I get coffee. I don't always remember their names if they don't have their name tag, and they definitely don't always know mine, but they always know, they know us. And so today, I literally, I ordered my coffee, and then when she passed me the debit machine and I was punching it in, she literally like put herself like so close to the window, like almost coming out of it. And she's like, how are you today? I'm like, I'm doing good today. How are you? And she's like, I'm not doing good. I shouldn't even be here. I feel really sick. Like I'm not, this is normal for me at this time of year when the weather changes and, I have this thing that just, it passes through me. I don't feel good for a certain amount of time. And I looked at her, I was like, did you tell them at work that you weren't feeling good? And she's like, yeah, but they're short staffed today, so they made me come in anyways. And I looked at her, I was like, way to go for like implanting, the measures, right? As soon as somebody feels sick of any type at all, they're not supposed to be allowed to even show up at work. But that's the thing, is that even within the system that's listening, wearing the mask, doing all the fucking mandates, they're still not fucking allowing for people and what people need. Right? People are still feeling pressured of like, if I don't go to work today, I'm going to let my coworkers down. If I don't go to work today, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, wow, how, like, fuck, nothing's changing. That's why we're bringing, everything's going to have to be brought to the brink of something, Even the people who are following fucking orders aren't even following the real fucking orders. They're picking and choosing what they do. So it's like, fuck. Doesn't even make any sense. SS, Australia gave up their guns. There's no more chance for civil war. But there's not supposed to be more war, SS. This is supposed to be a different way. We're bringing in new scripts, right? It's not supposed to be a fucking bloodbath. It would be so simple if people just fucking listen to their own fucking heart space. But even 3/4 of people who say, I'm woke and I know things, I have knowledge, I've, you know, blah, 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 they're not even following their fucking heart spaces. For real. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? They're not. We're not. People are not. So until people are actually doing what's for their greater good individually, how the fuck can it ripple effect for a whole collective? SS. I seen a 7-year-old child get maced and handcuffed in Africa for not wearing a mask. But dude, not in Africa, in Australia. But dude, why are you watching that? You're in Florida. It's not your reality. Just the fact that you watch it and you're angry about that or that it insults you, it doesn't help that you know, because you're bringing a frequency towards it that amplifies it. That's for people in Australia to be dealing with their stuff. Unless you can go there and do shit, you're not a part of that reality. We're focusing too much attention still on the exterior that doesn't belong to us instead of... So this matches with what I said earlier. Fucking blessed be the day that fucking there's no way to see what's going on, because the fear that's being, you know, programmed, right? It's like the way that people assumed that because in Portland, Oregon, certain things were going on, they thought that all of Portland is fucking burning down and everybody's acting a certain way, and that the whole town, the whole region has gone batshit. But then you have somebody like My Skies 5D, and it's like, no, there's one specific fucking spot, and everybody's always showing the same fucking shit all the time. All the time. But all the rest of us are fine. You know, it's the same thing. The more we focus our attention, the more we're the ones keeping this reality in place. It's funny you write that though, right? The child, and then by so-called protectors, because that's the basis of, a part of the basis of the movie Australia. Remember I said earlier, I want to watch that movie, it's inside of me? Well, it's the same thing, right? They were gathering all the children to put them in like residential type schools in order to program them to be like white and not, you know, indigenous anymore. So, you know, we're just reliving the loops. SS, a real order is morally correct. But that's up to the people that are the ones that are to follow orders to, you know, step into their fucking integrity. Right? It's the people boots on the ground who need to make the choices. That's it. Like, SS, but that's the complete excuse of all of history, because I want to be informed. But what is it doing for you to be informed? Is it putting you in a more neutral state where you're feeling love and light and you know that Australia is going to get through this? Or is it making you feel pissed off, angry, and even afraid for children, right? You want to be informed, but being informed, what's the ripple effect of the frequency you're putting out there? What does it change in your life if kids all over the place are being maced, SS? It's the children in your neighborhood that you can actually make sure that they're having a beautiful fucking summer, right? Putting a little painting outside your fucking door or in your window to make children smile as they walk by. Make the children in your community, or the ripple effect of the children that you can help, because that's the stuff that's always going to be targeted to inform you. The news, and you know, nobody's going to inform you of the beautiful stuff that's going on except for people making their Australia vids right now, right? The first thing I fucking shared in the stream when you were here, SS, is Frack doing a video of Saturn and Jupiter. Well, guess what? Frack's in Africa.
Okay.
Shower?
So, yeah.
Right? So that's the boots on the ground vids, and that's the stuff to inform you. A normal person living in Africa right now is showing the fucking sky. Michael Joshua Lewis is in Australia as well. You know, go look at his videos. Mickey Hood is in Australia as well. Boom, he put out a poem. She's singing, Mickey, you're so fine. Right? Mickey posted a poem this morning. Anita is in Australia as well. She's in fucking contact with me, and she's not even talking about anything that's going on around her. She's living her life. The day that Anita says something's going on with her, though, she's my sister. That's when I'll like have to focus on something to be informed, because she's going to inform me, not the bullshit and the internet and the fear based. We are one. That's taken on too much, SS 1244. What belongs to others affects me. What if it's not even real what you saw? Would you still feel as informed if it was just like a fucking child actor? How would you feel if you realized today, if it could be proven today that that was all a movie scene filmed to fucking get a reaction out of people? Right? How many false flag events have we seen in the last fucking 10 years where the same actors die or have their arm ripped off in every fucking false flag event? Hasn't that been proven already? That they use actors, they make shit up, and, you know, so that people get mad and angry. SS. Here's where G and I disagree. If I ignore a person being beaten to death, am I doing good? But that's the thing, SS. If the person's being beaten to death in your reality, then holy shitballs, act, right? If people were beaten to death in your real reality, in your neighborhood, that's a whole other level. But seeing stuff on media or anywhere, unless you were there, you don't know it's real. It's like that ultimate empath. If we're sitting there absorbing that people are dying, then we're dying as well because we're not living anymore. You know? In your reality, SS, when something's hitting the fan, if a woman is screaming down the street, do you get up at night and go fucking see why she's screaming? That's where you can help, right? Or do you do that thing where, oh, you know, that fucking crazy chick screams all the time, I'm gonna fucking ignore her? Or do you go help? You know what I mean? That's the things that we can attach to and help and, you know, really make a difference. How when you help me and Lily Rose, that's making a fucking difference, right? For real. For fucking real. But we can't know that all these vids that are showing up, like unless that video of the macing came from a source that's, you know, one of your dudes you've been watching forever on YouTube and you trust them with 144%. It's a whole other level. Devotion, Parvati. Anyways, that's I totally love you for like talking about the stuff you talk about. I'm just rambling on with what feels good for me, right? If we were talking face to face and everything, it would come out like it comes out, right? Thank you, Al. I fucking love you. I only know what I see. 6,000 miles per week. News media is fake. Exactly. Thank you, Al. Truckers, boots on the ground. You're going around everywhere and you see exactly. It's not true, everything they're saying. 6,000 miles per week in the center, like fucking the United States. 6,000 miles per week. You know? And it's fake. It's not real. I wish somebody like would come up. I know it's like getting early morning. It's like 4 or 5, whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. in Australia right now. But we'll see, you know, if I stream long enough and people start to pop in. Anita usually comes in at a certain time. you know, whoever, but to ask the questions to them. How's it going? Right? There are hot spots and real place. There are people who made the soul choice that they are going to go through certain shit. For real. And that was the choice these souls made, for real. Anyways, I'm going to stop. 41, Parvati, devotion. Hopelessly devoted to you. You okay?
Yeah, tell the stuff.
Towel? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, SS, I love the way that, like, I hope you don't, like, just jump ship and, like, get mad at what I'm saying, right? It feels good what you're writing, feels good what I'm saying. If we were talking, you know, both of us together, we still would come to the same consensus. You care, I care, and we just see and say things differently. But there's no way I'm going to start flipping out about, like, somebody, one person, or something happening somewhere else unless it's a part of my reality, because there's just too many lies, too much untruths, and the focus, you know, that's redirected and only shows the yucky shit, right? Thank you, Al. Genevieve, I talk to several folks in Australia almost every day, and again, the news media is fake, goddammit. Yeah. And there are hot spots, though, Al. There are little things that are happening, and then they get so focused on that it's like, right? But I know the people that I have in Australia as well, like, they wouldn't be pretending that it wasn't happening if it was. It is, you know what I mean? It's only happening in certain spots and being focused on a lot. Yeah. Devotion. Let's see about the book. Where are you now, Al? Are you at home for the weekend? Should be 8. I forget. Parvati, devotion. True commitment comes from wholehearted living in body, mind, and spirit. When the Hindu goddess Parvati rises up to greet you, she's acknowledging you for your sincere devotion to personal growth. With the world in so much turmoil, it's not easy to devote yourself to higher knowledge and strong faith. But if you are here to serve others by being a bearer of love, compassion, and light, you must recommit yourself every day as unwavering in your devotion as Parvati was to Shiva and her goal to bringing peace to the world. The goddess is present when you renew your devotion and make that relationship primary above all else. Then, in all areas of your life, your very choice will be in alignment and in service to this truth. When the goddess Parvati comes to visit, it's a beautiful sign that you are on the right track. Hi, Road Trip Eddie. How's it going, dude? Yeah, 30 Acre. I'd pull a card for you for sure. Thanks for asking. I'm going to pull you a crystal spirit card. I don't know if you have crystals in your possession or not. These cards are not meant to, like, imply that you have to have this crystal, but whatever crystal is going to, like, pop up for you and anyone else it resonates with, grab the message from it. I always believe, like, it's beautiful if we can have the certain crystals in our possession, but if not, sometimes having a screenshot or just, you know, the image of certain things or just in our mind's eye is enough.
I'll be using the blow dryer. So.
Okay.
Well, you know.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen this one. No wonder I was saying if you don't have it in your possession. Petalite. Petalite. 42 is the number. 4 and 2 is 6. 369. Petalite. Al says 30 acre. That's a lot of land. Yeah, no kidding, eh? I've had 7 acres before. That was about as many as I've had in my adulthood anyways. 42, Petalite, witnessing, the observer, the ability to detach, the impersonal quality of the universe. Sometimes life feels so too close for comfort, and decisions are difficult to make when you're taking life so personally. This is particularly true for empaths and sensitives. When Petalite spirit appears, it's here to give you the ability to step back and observe with detachment and neutrality. This is a lot of what I was saying earlier, just a little bit better, well said. You actually have this crystal 30 acre? Whoa, that's cool, dude. Whoa. There's a place within that allows you to observe without emotion. See the world with a perspective of acceptance. Trying not to change what you see as external to you, but rather the lens with which you perceive it. Whoa, that's weird, Gary. Did I do something wrong? My phone will not let me into the video again. That's weird. I don't think so. Because of a copyright restriction? That I did? I can see your comments, and as far as I know, I'm still streaming. Now is the time to step back and observe what's in front of you. Are you reacting to something that's triggering you? Or are you overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information that you need to process and the time required to sort things out? Petalite Spirit reminds you that a clear, detached manner will empower you to understand the true nature of what's in front of you right now and to take your steps in your own time. There are times when you're too emotionally too close to a situation to come to a real conclusion. It's also possible that what is really going on can't be seen by analyzing the details and guessing the motives for someone else's behavior might be triggering you. Right now, the way forward is to step back, do nothing, and observe the dynamic between you and other persons. And soon everything will be clear. And by you becoming the observer, you will find that you really didn't do anything to change anything all along. It has a life of its own and is offering you valuable lessons. Sometimes we want to fix something right away when all we're invited to do is hold space and listen. Petalite is a stone that assists us in learning how to be the observer. Meditating on, carrying it, wearing the stone allows us to step out of emotional reactivity into the compassionate witness. It allows us to rise above the emotion and observe from a place of non-attachment. Boom. I'm actually going to keep that out right here just because I like that. Remember that one. If that speaks to you a little bit, 30 acre. You're back? That's so strange. I mean, who knows why that could happen. I didn't touch. I swear, Gary, I didn't touch anything. I swear. Me not even like mad or cranked. It's just the way I talk, right? I'm gonna just do a little walkabout. nada. The sun's coming out, guys. Oh my gosh. The sun is coming out. Okay, good. Thank you, SS. You got it? Okay, you're welcome, 30 Acre, no problem. If anybody else specifically wants a card, just ask. I just randomly pull cards, and whatever resonates with somebody, grab it as yours. And I love when you guys individually ask. I just don't, except for certain people that I know they might enjoy it or just feel like at the time, I don't usually specifically pull, you know, for someone unless asked. And that's why I randomly pull, because you don't have to ask. If you feel it that it's your message, it is for you, right? We're all guided to where we need to be at the time. And you know that thing where you pop into a stream and just a certain amount of words, you know they were for you. It's just what you need, and you're out of there. So, you know, grab it if it's for you. Gonna bring another goddess in. Were you there last night, that SS? Is there any chance you were in Matrix Man streams with when I was on there with 1111? Peanut was on for a while. Kimba came on for a while. I forget who was still there when I left. Emily was coming on as I left. And I left suddenly. I touched my screen, I did something, then I lost like the fucking image, and then I realized that my battery was dead, and I was just done. But it felt really cool to be up on panel and to just be like giggling and talking with other people. Felt nice. I don't know how to do that, like to merge myself with others of you guys, like to be able to like have my own panel. I just don't even. Boom. A little bit of Lilith today. "30 Acres" says, pull a card for yourself, Genevieve. Maybe later, 30 Acre. You know, it's awesome, and you know, positivity, and like my vibe is and frequency is really good right now. I'm in and out of a lot of fucking fear, and I just don't even know how to like change the situations that I'm in. And so I'm always like as personal, and you know, the vulnerability already comes out in my stream as much as you know it just flows. So I'm not going to intensify that by pulling a card solely for myself. Not on screen anyways. That being said, when the cards speak, I listen as well, right? For the messages for me. It's been a long time that I've actually taken the time to watch one of my live streams. I actually enjoy watching myself to catch the things that I don't understand that I say out loud. But just haven't been able to refocus on sitting there for like 2 or 3 hours to catch what I'm supposed to catch for myself. Lilith, Independence, 29. Sure, that way. You haven't pulled a card for me in a while. Can you pull one, please? Yeah. I'm going to read Lilith really quick just to see what comes up that way, and then I will, okay? Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm in and out of a lot of fear. Not sustaining or manifesting like abundance money-wise. And that feeling that summer's almost over, and like I just want to go camping, and there's so many things that I just need right now. Like there's a list, like it's huge. Like I'm not even writing it down of like basic needs, that aren't being provided for. So it's like just like I'm trying to stay away from my own stuff in the streams right now. Lilith, independence. Boom, you mentioned Judaism, SS, earlier. The Jewish goddess, Lilith, refused to be dominated by the first man, and as a result, she was called a demon, and the stories about her that followed. These inaccurate and damaging stories are so old and repeated so often that no one recognizes how pervasive, perverse, that their implications are. From another perspective, Lilith offers this lesson. No one can prevent you from fully blooming, from learning all you can, from evolving, and from choosing freedom. Only your conditioned thinking can do that. Be proud, be accountable, and claim your power and hold it wisely. Right now, you are in an excellent position to attract healthy, interdependent, collaborative relationships that truly serve the highest good. Friendships flourish with mutual respect and support. Love relationships bloom with ample space for both parties to grow. And business ventures thrive in service to the greater good. I'm going to pull you one of these. These are goddess cards as well. That way. Yeah, SS, the greater good. I've been told in the last while, like, it's me that's not choosing timelines. Like, I'm not jumping into things, but it's like, but I'm not offered things that are for the greater good, right? I'm not offered timelines that are for the greater good right now. I'm offered things that are ego-based and have zero purpose for the greater good. They're just ego-based desires and loops and certain things, right? So being offered everything you don't want and can't even take, right? The dangling carrots of here, like take this because no, it doesn't. Thanks for writing that out, Chase. 11, not 11, excuse me. Ooh, why the 11? 107, the 17. Chase says, motherships have been circling. We are very close. Yeah. Thanks, Chase. They are. It's, yeah. Thank you for writing it out, having me read it, because where are you now, Chase? Are you in Michigan, or are you still like out and about somewhere else? Just wondering, location-wise, where you're seeing this. But yeah. $30 Acres says, yeah, Lilith and I still have a few things to talk about. I don't know. For me, Lilith and Eve is exactly why women are competitive, jealous of each other, have the envy, don't support each other. So when Lilith and Eve come together within, a frequency of one being and reaches out to the other feminine, nothing is more empowering than women support each other, right? Support each other and are all in of supporting, no matter if we don't have the same ideas or interests, but that we still support and encourage each other, empower each other. Road trip. It's so nice and sunny out right now. I love it. Nice. The sun is coming out for us as well. Chase, right on. You're in Ohio right now. Gonna be moving again soon. Cool beans. Ohio. That's a big sync for me. As the crow flies, I love how, you're in Michigan usually, but you're in Ohio, so you're still like kind of still distance-wise, it's just like whoop, flip a little bit this way, but you're still in the Great Lakes Basin. That's important. Thanks for doing what you do, Chase, because water retains memory. You're doing it. I'm proud of you. Yes, Chase, synchronicity is everything. You were born in Columbus, Ohio, 30 acre? Right on. So you're a Great Lakes. For no wonder. That's cool. Okay, you ready that way? Dun dun. Put out that smoke. Put out the smoke, Michimi. Oh, Michimi. Glasses feel heavy. He's getting hungry. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to stream. Starting to get hungry. Yesterday I pushed myself too long that I was so hungry that I started crying at the end of my stream because I was too hungry. I just kept on going and going, like, and it was like a little too much. I became, I don't always become hangry, right? Mad. I become sad. Right? Everybody become bitches when they're hungry and me just start to fucking cry. Oh my god. I swear. And I'm at that point where we don't have much supplies, so the things that I want are not the things that we have. So my imagination is in Hook mode, right? In the part of Hook where they have no food, so they're making it up in their head, is where I'm kind of at. I have food, but I'm making up in my head that it's actually what I really want versus what I have. But this is the part of me that's like, holy shitballs, when you can turn ramen noodles into like, whoa, these are so amazing, you know you fucking have the magic touch for food, right? Fuck. Sekhmet. Soyez fort. Vous êtes plus fort que vous le pensez et votre force est assurée d'un résultat heureux. Oh, the two lions and the purple lions. Who wrote out purple lions earlier? Was it SS or was it you that way? The purple and the lions. Oh yeah, I read that in French. I'm going to read it again. Vous êtes plus fort que vous le pensez. Et votre force est votre force vous assure d'un résultat heureux. You're stronger than you think. And your boldness, your strength, will result in happiness. That's beautiful that way. Grab a screenshot of that if you can. Aw, Chase, thank you. 111. Proud of you, Genevieve, and each of the lovely beings that in the chat, we have all journeyed through this experience together. Yeah. I thought yesterday I was speaking, but not really of specific things, but I was speaking about how my, like, I'm going to go into a chat and somebody's live stream and I'm just going to be myself and I'm going to meet people, and how, like, you know, last year, I think it was in May, just the end of April, beginning of May, just before his birthday, I came into James's True's live streams and I found you and D Case and, you know, Kiki Harmonics, Annie D, Cindy B, who else came specifically from there? James Fox, Alex Fox. That's where I started to see him the most, even if I had seen him elsewhere. I'm trying to think of other names that are like huge. Jack Willis. I haven't heard from Jack in like ever in a day, but you know what I mean? Love you guys. Yeah, it's been a while. Hey, Alpha Self 113. Greetings and salutation to you, Lady Double G, and to all here. How's it going, sweetie? Infinite Plane. I'm so at peace now that I got rid of toxic people. Yup. But it's a whole new world, eh, Infinite Plane? Letting it go. Just let it go and allow for the serenity. Other people don't necessarily, you know what I mean? It's maybe not in our reality, but other people do show up. Jay says Jack disappeared and we noticed that too. We talked and then all his comments disappeared on my channel. Yeah, I reached out, I think it was the day, or like I had been thinking about him all week. I'm that person that remembers a birthday before it happens, and then I don't write anything the day of, and then after I'll send the message, but he never responded, and that was in July. So, but that's the thing, Chase, if we're thinking about him, he will pop up somewhere, so be ready. Be ready to see him pop up when he does, right? Hi, Witch Moon. Hey, family. Love y'all. Love you too, sweetie. Thanks for being here. I didn't complete the video. I just started it. You received the blanket and some goodies from Ghost Shadow. It's beautiful. I only got through a little bit of it, and I didn't even comment on it right away. I forget why. Because it was this morning, but I'll finish it later, sweetie. Quilts are so special, eh, sweetie? L for Self says, you're doing very well. How are things going in my world? They're going okay. They're going good. Thanks for asking. Just pushing through the stuff and allowing for, you know, I'm doing good, Witch Moon. Thanks for asking. Hi, David Castle. Greetings and favor to you. How's your reality going, sweetie? Just watching you guys say hello. I wonder what kind of stream I would have if I just sat here and watched you guys say hello and like how it feels sometimes, right? The way I do during the night streams. I don't tend to talk as much during the night streams. And when I do look at the comments of you guys interacting, how it's like just amazing to me. Yeah, it's nice, eh, Infinite Plane? Nice to meet everybody. Yeah, if anybody wants to share any channels, any vids, please do. Whether they be yours or whoever feels good to share right now. I don't usually take the time, Infinite Plane, to go into my vids and share just because it throws me off track of my talking. Right? I'm not the best multitasker to talk, go get vids and share them and upload them at the same time. But it's like what you said earlier, right? I'm feeling good since I let a lot of toxic people go. Well, especially here, feel the flow of like, whoa, people, right? Sub to the people like Angie, Witch Moon. You know what I mean? Like, these are channels that we're not the biggest channels. We're not. But we're all fucking heart. You'll get every aspect of us at some level. Well, you know what I mean? Like, we don't hide of where we're at. It's just whatever's guided to us to share, right? So there's a lot of rawness, there's a lot of vulnerability in our channels, there's a lot of just like, you know, saying it for what it is from our perspective, right? We're none of us really people like that gather here. We're not really here to like educate and tell people what to do. We just talk about our life and how certain things feel, and it either resonates with people or it doesn't, right? But it's a whole other level of channels that, you know, sure, we all have our ideas and our opinions, but we're like so willing to just listen to them all without bashing or judging or making people feel bad, right? Earlier, me and SS, like the comments going back and forth. And like I said, like, you know, I speak the way I speak. If we were both together doing a live stream, we wouldn't get into a scrap about it. You know what I mean? Not at all. Not from my way. You know what I mean? I can't imagine, right? Oh, that's beautiful, Infinite Plane. I feel loved here. Good. That's the intent behind, that's the only reason I show up, to share my love that I've got that's overflowing, and for anyone else who wants to as well. I've not manifested much chaos, none at all really, throughout my whole YouTube journey, because I'm known to be middle road and Mama Bear. I will talk about what I talk about, but I don't expect anybody to, you know, to believe me or to like anything. I'm still shocked that people listen to me. You know what I mean? One of the biggest shocking things to me is when somebody says, like, I fall asleep listening to you, and it's like, whoa, right? I'm in my reality. I'm not saying that people tell me to shut the fuck up, but when you're getting eye rolls and like, oh, here she goes again, you don't talk the same way and for any length of time, and nobody's sitting there wishing you would talk till they fall asleep, right? So that's like one of the ultimate, like, wow, for me, is that anybody, that people actually feel so, you know, the flow of me, that they actually like are soothed into sleep, instead of how it is in my reality of like, you know, I piss people off. I hurt people with how I speak because they're not ready for what I say, right? Like, I hurt people by just not believing in the V, when it's like, I'll drive you to get yours. I'm not here to preach or tell you you shouldn't, but why would you think anything less of me just because I choose not to, right? It's so strange to me that, like, I mean it. If somebody believes in it and needs it, I'd fucking drive them. I don't care. I'm not going to start saying, well, I've educated myself. It's possible you will shit on me. You need to stay away from me and my family for weeks or days at a time, because I don't believe in that part either for myself, right? If people are going to shit on me, there's people everywhere. I'm not going to boycott somebody that I love when, if I go to the mall, or I don't go to the mall, when I randomly once a week go out for fucking groceries, like, I don't know who got what, so I'm not afraid of like the shedding and all that stuff, like, right? I'm protected. I'm me. I heal my own self, right? Number 5, the relics of Lemuria, fragments, memory, and reclaiming. That's important. The really going within and it, you know, get away from the surface, what's actually happening or not happening, or what you think is happening, and let's go dig deep inside us for the, you know, the memories from ago, to wake the alchemists in us. Chase, that's beautiful. I found out how to hear the animals. Like, they straight up speak like we do. The ears have just been blocked off. But just like the Hitchhiker's Guide, we have a babblefish that translate all the languages. Chase, I got shivers everywhere, because that's it exactly. How cartoons have portrayed our whole life, and since cartoons exist, that, you know, humans and animals and bugs, you know, bugs life, all those things that we interact, it's real. It is real. If I didn't have the animals that I have in my life as synchronicities that show up for me, I would have never made it through. They're the ones, right? I don't know if you guys remember last year, my vids, like, right now I'm living in a reality where I tell the deer, like, it's possible that deer could come to me, but I tell them, like, I love you so much, I'm willing to live without you until I get out of here. Don't come to me here, right? Like, it's dangerous for them to come here. You know what I mean? Like, deers are spotted in the city, like, it happens, but I don't want to, you know, but they know that, you know, and that's the thing. Like, last year in my reality, when I was screaming out for, like, holy fuck, like, I need reinforcements, right? And the stag showed up for me like 3 times in one day. Beginning of the day, midday, and at the end of the day. He showed up for me 3 times that day. And I remember, and this is a sync with Jack, Chase. I was speaking to Jack at the time a lot. And I said, Jack, I'm not as brave as I thought I was. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, the buck, the deer, the stag is ready to come to me. He's telling me he's ready, and I'm the one telling him, I don't think I'm not ready. And he's like, yeah, yes, you are. And I'm like, no, if you come close to me, I'll flinch. I'll move. I'm not ready. You're too big, I wasn't ready for it. I really wasn't. And that being said, I've been beside horses. They're bigger than deers and stags. I've been beside moose closer, but I wasn't ready. I needed the distance, right? I needed a little bit of distance. I was sitting there at night, and he was like, I counted the steps the next morning. I think it was like 8-10 steps away from me, right? Because I could see his tracks of where exactly he was and know where I was sitting, and he was ready to come, but I was not ready for any closer. So thanks for mentioning that, Chase. It's so important. I'm gonna bring in the sync of Lightwave Harmonics, Kiki, Kirsten. I reached out to her this morning, and she, answered back right away. And she said, like, the crows are so vocal today. And I said, yeah, me too. Like, to the point where, Lily's first thing she heard, like, really loud outside was the crows. And just, they're so vocal. And that vocalness, I need it, right? It's like, it's telling me everything that my heart is saying, right? I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm surrounded. It doesn't matter how alone I feel as a human mom, single mom with my kid, how protected I am, right? Like that, they're there. They'll let me know if I'm supposed to be doing something else, be somewhere else, like right away. They're so vocal that the day that they kind of like tone it down, I'm gonna be like, boom, red alert. What's coming to replace them as the sound and the vocal, because if they all of a sudden quiet down, there's going to be a reason, right? Thank you for sharing your latest video, Infinite Plane. I appreciate it. I think the serenity that you're bringing towards your channel is important and really needed right now. Yes, all for self. Shedding the skin to make room for the light body. Exactly, Witchman. Take me as I am or not. I'm easygoing. Oh, Michelle and Nate as well have a summer type of cold passing through as well. Witch Moon, I went back to bed 3 times. I have a summer cold thing going on. It's so hot and dry here. Yeah, there's a lot of purging going through the body, eh, guys? A lot. Rest as much as you can, sweetie. Oh, I cannot be anything other than myself. It hurts too much when I was trying to be someone else. Yeah. Exactly, Elf for self. And it's that thing of come too far. It wouldn't work even if you tried, right? It just doesn't even, it's not even possible. Witch Moon says, love y'all, thank you. Get this every year. It seems come seasons, changing time. Witch Moon, you wrote it out. And in the stream earlier, I said when I went for coffee, the lady that gave me my coffee, she reached out the window to talk to me to say that exactly what you wrote. Her body feels the change of the season. She always has a certain amount of time frame, 24 to 48 hours where just like, boom, and I said, like, what are you doing here? And she's like, they're short staffed. They made me come in anyway. They might let me leave at 1. And I was like, wow, so much for the mandates of, it's so simple for companies to put a mask, slap a mask on people and then tell them, doesn't matter if you have a symptom, you're not supposed to be at work, get your ass here anyways, we're short staffed. And that's the biggest hypocrisy of businesses, and I'm talking this business, you know, franchises, right, who have been open the whole time. They've always been an essential service because it's essential to get coffee, and how they're not actually taking care of their employees the way that they're supposed to be. Because whether she knows it's her body and she's sniffling and having these symptoms, these are the C symptoms that make it that she's automatically not supposed to show up for work, right? And so how the system within the systems and the businesses, you know, like I said, they'll slap the mask, make everybody wear that the whole time they're there, but then they won't actually protect and make their employees' life easier, right? Makes no fucking sense to me. One of the things that, you know what I mean, when I was an employer and when people would show up anyways and say, like, I have to be here, you know, like, you need me, and it's like, no, I don't. I'll fucking figure it out without you. Go home. Go home. You're sick, right? The faster you heal, the faster you can come back, boots on the ground, running. You stay here like all day, like wearing yourself out, you could be sick for a week because you wore yourself out. Go home. Elf says, yeah, Chase, Megan hears them too. And the plants as well. Oh, yeah. Elf, that's important. The trees, the plants, everything. Yep. Witchman. White stag. I saw one in the field a month ago and then once in a dream, and I pulled him last night. Yeah, the stag is the card, is like the top. I pulled it, I forget which day. It was could it have been yesterday? I can't remember already. I don't think so, but I pulled him twice in the last week or so. I just can't remember when. I've never seen a white stag in real life. I've never seen a white moose either. I've seen them like through vids and pictures and imagery, but I've never seen a white moose either.
What's a stag?
A stag is a buck, like the masculine of a deer.
Oh.
Yeah. Just different words.
Okay. I thought it was a whole different
Thank you for
animal.
sharing your channels, guys. Yeah, I would appreciate if you guys did share. Infinite Plane, you say, if anyone has a channel, please link and I'll sub. And that's the thing. The other night, when our videos were shared a lot, that brought in, like, boom, another wave of people, first of all, in the streams here that, you know, you participated today and yesterday, 30 Acre, Karen, you know what I mean? So that's just like 3 people really fast. Not about the sub count, but the fact of being able to bounce off your comments, right? And having that newness of the flow. It's awesome. Thank you, Chase. Turpentine on a tissue in the ear. Just a dab will do ya. It unlocks the ears. Turpentine removes the infection. That's a sync, Chase, because I'm wondering what to do or put or just about my ears. But I'm just weary of buying products that I'm not sure, you know what I mean? Like that if it's exactly pure or not, if that makes any sense at all. Elf, you saw a stag 2 days ago? Thanks for sharing your channels, guys. Whoa. Turmeric? Okay. I don't have any of that right now, but okay. Saw a stag 2 days ago. Wow. Nice. Lily Rose?
Yep.
Was the last deer that we saw, like the 3 that we saw before we left for camping when we went to Manitoulin, or did we see any since then anywhere?
No, before we went camping.
Yeah. On the day that the evening, we all of a sudden randomly decided we were going to go camping. So I was like, oh, let's go tank the vehicle. Let's go get gas tonight. Like as we were deciding, so we can be in the car, kind of plan out what we're going to, like, you know, do when we get home. Because it was 7:30 at night when we decided, like, we're going on an epic camping trip. And so we drove, because I go to the reserve for gas. It's cheaper there, and I like to encourage them. They're my local gas stations in my mind's eye. And so we get to the first one, it's closed. And then we get to the second one and it's closed. And I was like, oh, go figure. They both close at 8. I had no clue. I never go get gas at night, right?
It even said it on both of the signs.
And the sign's always there that says they close at 8. But when you only go during a certain time, like, why would you notice what time it closes? So it was like, okay, let's boot back home. But because I had decided to do that, we saw the we saw 3 deer as we were on our way, and that was our confirmation of like, we need to do this road trip. And we're at that spot right now where we're like, just need an inflow of like money to go camping again, because of what I've been living in. Like, we free flow camped like so many places for so many months years ago, right? Just finding a spot that feels safe and just camp. Crown lands, such things, just by the lake. But because of the last 6 months that I've been living and just in and out of fight or flight and fear so much, I'm just not ready to go somewhere and just be me and her, and like whatever decides to pass through can pass through. I want to be on a campground, right? And that's funny because I'm coming from like just completely like, wow, just fucking go where you're guided. And inside of me right now, like even as I say it, is like, yup, you're either not gonna go camping again, or you're gonna go and you're gonna go somewhere where that mama bear alert feeling doesn't need to be on a certain level, because the way the campgrounds here in Canada, they're so fucking safe that unless there's something meant to happen to you, you know, like, believe me, it's all good, right? So, yeah, self for self. Me loving the spontaneous adventures. Me too. And we really would need a good one. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have the choice of like the spot we want to go and just like enjoy it. We loved going to Manitoulin Island and Lake Huron. So it's actually possible that I might redirect us there. I'm not quite sure.
I want to go back.
Is that where you think you want to go back to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely on Lake Huron.
Yeah, you think that
Maybe
we
not
should?
the same campsite, but
Yeah.
definitely on Lake Huron.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what's meant to be, but Huron is calling us. I don't want to go further west. First of all, it's like, well, we could, but there's fires for us in northwest Ontario. So going a little bit farther up's just not conductive. It's not good for us right now.
No.
Right on, Alpha Self. We just bought a tent that fits in my big red backpack. Yeah, they make some stuff that's so little now, You can fit it anywhere.
I've seen a tent that is like our tent, but bigger. It's like this. It pats into this small little circle thing.
Yeah. It's amazing what they do now.
And then it has a handle. It's bigger than our tent.
Yep. Relics of Lemuria, fragments, memory, reclaiming. There are within these hidden worlds, between the worlds, kept safe the precious remnants of the land of Lemuria. The place where humanity had its inception, and where you've had lifetimes as a shapeshifter, mermaid, creature of the air and of skin. These relics of the lost land send out their energies into the world, and we receive them in the moments when we dream of our other lives, when we remember fleetingly who we once were, and when we discover we, too, have abilities to heal, to hear, to sense, and to communicate deeply with the natural world. When this card comes to you, take a moment to give thanks to the earth, to soften into the world, to notice the plants, their languages, the birds, and their song, and the intertwining of all that is, and know that you are part of a beauty that is all around us. Boom, Chase. You just wrote that out earlier. You seconded that emotion of feeling and hearing. Alpha Self, you mentioned the plants, and boom, that's the card. Love it, guys. Sync, 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 right? And the flow of what we're writing in comments, what I'm saying out loud, is the confirmation with the cards. Boom. Reconnect and recommit to the claiming of your power. Allow the senses to extend and to feel the world in a deeper, more intuitive way. The lost books of Lemuria are written into your DNA. And when you recall, even for a moment, all that you are, its energy is reactivated in this world today. No longer as memory, but as true, enduring abilities that once remembered can be reclaimed, reactivated in gentle and inspiring ways. When I remember, I reactivate. I just was talking about John Wick earlier in a comment somewhere and saying, you know, that remember thing, that was the message of John Wick, to remember, right? When I remember, I reactivate. When I reactivate, that's amplified into the collective. What's reactivated? Ripple effects for all. It really does. I love it. I love the way that you guys wrote the stuff, and then boom, card is like, I get so pissy at my books sometimes, right? Like, I like pulling the cards, but sometimes I get pissy at the interpretation right now. So I'm really loving the fact that it's like I chose to read it and it's aligned with the whole like flow of everything. Yeah. Road trip. Camping is fun. It's freedom, and freedom is fun. Rivers are fun and sound amazing. Oh, first of all, he's going to be building my treehouse and earth ships very soon here in New York. Right on, sweetie.
In New York, concrete and dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do in New York.
Okay. Oh, Lily, come on, dude. Yes, Chase. It only takes one of us to activate the light body for us all to be free. Loves you guys. Alex Lily Rose for president.
We don't have presidents here.
President of the world. A new regime.
No, thank you.
Let the children rule the fucking world for a fucking couple weeks. We'd be right on track, man. We would be right on track. Children could make better decisions and bring in like peace and freedom within a week. Within a week, right? Give children the voice to make the choices of how things need to like rearrange itself right now. We'd be golden. For real. For real. For real. Follow the children. You agree, Witch Moon? Yeah. Yep. Imagine schools just run by children who decide what they think is best for them. No fucking adult knows what's best for kids. And kids want the good stuff. Kids are not naturally like, you know, want to cause shit. It's adults that fucking push kids into like being mimicking what they want them to be. And that's why they have kids that are nutty, kids that act up. Why? Because you've programmed your child since the time it was born of when it was supposed to do things. You're telling them, you bully them all the time of what you want them to do. So, you know, how many of us couldn't sit still in class when we were in school, and we're still in a system that makes kids sit down for hours and hours and hours at a time, right? They feel shame. Little girls still feel shame in our generation when they have to lift their fucking hand up to ask permission to go to the bathroom, right? I specify little girls because, you know, little girls are menstruating way earlier than in our generations, right? So the shaming starts very young. How many kids go to school and then they come home and they need to poo or they're constipated because they weren't allowed to go to the bathroom at school, or they were too embarrassed to ask again, because if they ask too often, then they get pointed out and get told yucky things by teachers. You know what I mean? Like, just, we were so, like, backwards in the way we can radically change, like, everything, like, overnight, right now. Instead of, like, the politicians deciding about the back to school, may the kids decide and how they're going to do it and what they actually want to learn. One of the biggest interactions that I had in the last couple of weeks was speaking to a 13-year-old, that neutral, I didn't know him, and just, like, asking, how has this year been for you? What do you feel about what you've lived at school? Like, the masks, the everything. What do you feel? And he's, you know what I mean? A 13-year-old's perspective of, well, what I learned the most is everything that they taught me in class for months and weeks and days at a time. When they did it through online learning, I really didn't listen to it all, but I still understood what I needed to understand to pass. I said, did you get more creative? Did you do more new things in your life than you ever have? And he's like, yeah, I worked on my gaming. I build worlds inside my, you know, I did more stuff, you know, so many things. Because like he said, like, what I learned as a 13-year-old is that all that day is 3/4 of a waste of time being told what to do. And I still learned all that they wanted me to learn. Like, he's already speaking from the perspective, I don't want to go to school and learn this shit, but I have to. Still passed everything. And one of the perspectives from children is that they love this year of, you know, having homeschool or not being in the system the same ways, because their parents took them out and not sending them back 1 week and then taking them out for a month, because that's how it was here in Ontario anyways. Like, it changed all the time. So it's like they said, I didn't get bullied this year. I didn't have to deal with stuff from other people, like, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. But hectate, the in-between. Could we be more on the in-between? Oh my gosh, guys. Whoa. The in-between. Aww. Prayers for my little shaman right now, y'all. Struggling in school? In what way, sweetie? It is harder and harder because, like, that little shamanesque energy just gets, like, siphoned out, right? I know my little dude, Samuel, was such a little... He was just a little go-getter, a happy kid, a clown, right? He didn't nap. He didn't sleep during the day. From the time he was like 6 to 7 months old, he would wake up at a certain time in the morning between like 8, 9, or 10, and then go to sleep at 6 or 7 at night and sleep the whole night through. But he never napped as a baby and as a toddler. So when he entered like kindergarten and they wanted him to sleep during sleep time, he didn't sleep. So right away from kindergarten, he got pegged as like a kind of a nuisance, a kind of a class clown, like in kindergarten. Because he wasn't like every other kid, or almost all the other kids kind of either slept or they needed the rest, right? They kind of toned down. But he didn't. So from kindergarten on, already like fucking, you know, especially in the small rural towns, classified as like kind of like he's too much. By the time grade 3 rolled around, when I met his grade 3 teacher, like face to face 3 weeks or a month into school, she was like, wow, your son is so amazing. Like, she loved him. She's like, your son is so amazing. I was so scared because last year I would hear about Samuel from other teachers and be warned that he was going to be like disruptive in my class. So I kind of had times in the summer where I was scared of your Sam because I'd heard he was rambunctious. And I was like, what the fuck? First, teachers are not supposed to speak that way, but they do. And I was like, of course he's not. He's just éveillé. He's woke. He's not like a puppet to be just want to sit there. He wants to participate in what he learns and what he does. He wants to joke about it, not just be pumped information all fucking day. You know, make it fun, make it light, allowing for, you know, who he was. So, but that thing of like, holy shit, like, he was just a kid. And an adult was like worried about how she was going to educate him because she had been told by other adults how he was. But when she saw him through her perception, she was like, he's not rambunctious. And I was like, I know. He's just, you know, he's himself. Fuck's sakes. And that's the thing. Teachers are supposed to come from neutral points of view. They're not supposed to be like, you know, like saying stuff about other kids in a way that actually, you know. Yeah, infinite. And then like public schools, I found them cruel. Yeah. I have kids who have talked to me and they say, like, I went to the teachers. I told them I was being bullied. They tell me it's my fault, or they tell me to suck it up, or they tell me this, or they tell me that. Right? Especially we're in a zero tolerance of bullying in our, you know, in Ontario, our school system. But teachers see it and they don't, you know, they don't know what to do about it. Yeah. Chase, anybody else sweating bullets in this heat? Yes and no. Not sweating more than usual, to be honest.
We were, and then it cooled down a little bit.
Oh, witch moon. They are shaming her for zoning out, and it's affecting her academically. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the beauty of zoning out. It's where we integrate our learning, right? If I could have ever told a teacher that they understood it, it's the fact that I zone out, that I actually am learning something. The more you tell me I have to pay attention, the less I'm fucking learning. Because if I'm zoned out looking at the window, then there's actually a part of me that's listening to what you're saying and getting it. But if you want me to fucking focus on looking in front of the class and look at you and sit properly, you just changed my whole body structure, what feels good, and how I learn. I don't learn by being like told how to do something. I learn by just immersing myself in it, just hearing bits and pieces, or just seeing it hands-on, right? So, I'm sorry, Witch Moon. Witch Moon, they don't understand her, but her mama's getting it all figured out. And they don't listen to her in her language. I see it all, but it's hard to help others understand. Exactly, Witch Moon. It's so. She don't learn or follow the way most kids do. Public schools cannot handle these kids without everyone helping the children. The village needs to help, and that's not the way anymore. Exactly. Exactly, Witch Moon.
Change where the hearts are in Minecraft.
Alex G, I personally beat flat everyone at school. I had to run home beating somewhere. It's weird now that I think back. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, Alex. Hi, Anita. How's it going, sweetie? And that's the thing. I don't know about in your community, Witch Moon, but here in Ontario, it's pervasive. Like, it's so like, let's say we have a class of 20 children. There are between 10 and at least 12 children who are being followed with special IEP progress reports all year long, instead of them changing the way that kids learn. So if you got a class of 20 and there's over half now Like, it's not just one or two kids that don't learn the same way and that are being told that they're different and that they're being analyzed all the fucking time. It's over half a class now, right? So, like, a change has got to come at some point. When you have the numbers right in front of you that, 20 kids and over half of them need special support to learn the way that they're being bombarded to learn instead of changing the way that they're taught, doesn't even make any sense. Plus, here, the way that it is in Ontario, those IEP special reports, they just like do the reports, right? Get extra staff, do those reports, have special people, stick a computer in front of a kid. But guess what? If they say on these reports that a child is believed to be dyslexic, but they won't do the special testing to get them, what would the word be? Like, completely diagnosed as dyslexic, because that costs too much. And because if children were told like right away, like boom, like, okay, you're dyslexic, then the system would have to change, because there's so many children who are dyslexic and don't see things the same way anymore. So they keep these us families hovering in an in-between of telling us our kids are different, that they're possibly dyslexic or have like ADHD, ADD, OCD, all these fucking, acronyms, instead of like completely like, okay, this, and this is how we're gonna like rearrange the system to teach these children. So, you got a class of 20 and you got like, no one feels safe, comfy, happy being at school because everybody feels like they're just a little bit different, when like none of them are different at all. They're just being bullied to be learning the same way in an archaic system that shouldn't even exist anymore. Witch Moon, I've been very busy helping in every way that I can. She's being analyzed, and it sucks. I've been very unimpressed with this. Sam last year, her this year. Yeah, you're right. Sam was last year as well now. Yeah. And that being analyzed is that feeling of like that shaman that feels like I always tell people, my boy went into kindergarten feeling like he was fucking Superman, impenetrable, couldn't wait to learn, you know what I mean? And then within 6 months, he already felt the fucking shame that has followed him his whole life of what they put into him in kindergarten. In fucking kindergarten, man. You know what I mean? Kindergarten. Taking the my little Superman sucked out of him, where it didn't matter if I was his mom telling him what the things that I saw in him, what I believed, and that it would always full circle into him growing up and having the knowing, right? Kids are not meant to learn things the way that adults decide. It doesn't matter how many fucking more generations are we going to have. I thought this shit should have been over with another brick in the wall of parents, kind of realizing that your kid is the one that's telling you the truth. When your child comes home from school and says it's hard, I don't like it there, I hate it there, who are you going to keep on shoving them in there, right? It's so sad, because we were the generation that fucking hated the fucking system, yet it's still the same way now. Exactly, Witch Moon.
I see blue.
She has a lot of spectrum looking, feeling things about her. They don't know she's a shaman. And that's the thing, is they don't care. They don't care. The only way at this point, Witch Moon, is if someone, a teacher or, anybody in that system, is of an ilk to actually embody their own compassionate, empathetic empath of who they are, and be taken under a wing of supported on a certain level. But that's not how it works, right? Because that's the thing. Although it's personally for you, Angie, that your little shaman is going through this, If you actually knew how many other kids at the same time are being, like, you know, analyzed the same way, she's not the only one that's a little shaman getting it, wanting it siphoned out of her. So are everyone else has their gifts, their abilities. Kids are born seeing, especially the crystal children, the golden children, right? Us indigos, we were born with a certain sight, but the knowing we were going to camouflage throughout 3/4 of our life. Even if we had it, we were ingrained with a chameleon vibration inside of us to be able to, like, fucking make it through the system. But golden children are not like that, and crystal children either. You know, they're not. They can't fake it till they make it. They're gonna, like, be, you know, it's so. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. Anita, my son was diagnosed with ADD and a learning disorder. He's so intelligent, but he learns differently, like me. So I won't accept the diagnosis. Exactly, because even the diagnosis just means that he learns differently. Same with dyslexic. Has nothing to do with being smart or not. People that are dyslexic are the ones that actually changed our world forever with their inventions and the things they did. Thomas Edison didn't start talking until he was, Albert Einstein didn't start talking until he was 6 years old, right? There are children that didn't fucking do the stuff, and they're the ones that we still remember today. Like, fuck. So, it's so hard. Witch Moon, I've cried a lot in the last few weeks because the first thing they said was drugs and I flipped out. It's hard to talk about it. I've been very quiet. I know. Yeah, Witch Moon, it happened to me and I ended up a mess after and quitting school. Yeah, sweetie. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And it's a whole other level, right, Witch Moon? Because, you know, it's your grandchild. Anita says, same with my son, Witch Moon. They tried giving him drugs, and I said no. Yep, exactly, Anita. This generation of kids are so different. They're more switched on, but they learn differently. And that's the thing, is that not only do they learn differently, but they're already aware inside of them that everything that we were taught was bullshit. Right? Pretty much everything we were taught was fucking a lie and bullshit. So to be recycled again to learn all that bullshit, that's not what they came for. That's not what they came for. Does every soul know their journey? Yes. But, you know, this is still the thing that we're perpetuating on our own children. And that's where the, like, follow the children, they lead the way. Like, if adults listen to their kids more than the school system, then they wouldn't allow for those schools to not take care of their kids a certain way, right? How many states is it actually illegal in to homeschool your children? There's a reason for that, right? That it's illegal. It takes all the fucking power out of your hands. It's illegal to keep your fucking kids at home, right? For myself, there's a reason I chose this province, and it's because this province doesn't have mandates. Homeschool is completely allowed, and it's allowed in an unschooling way. We don't have to prove a curriculum to anybody. We are allowed to free range unschool our children in Ontario. And that's that. Other provinces don't have that same thing. You know what I mean? And we are allowed to unschool our children here when we choose to. We don't have to, you know, do what they say. Exactly, Alex. Thanks for mentioning it, because that's the truth of school in, you know, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. For us, early 70s, it was not allowed to hurt kids anymore, but that's not every country or state or province or school system that actually was like that. Alex, for us, it wasn't enough as kids that we fought at school. Even the teachers beat us. If they found out you were in church on Sunday, they beat you. The communists were ungodly. Thanks, Alex, for talking about that. Infinite playing. I wish I had been homeschooled. Me too, Infinite, says Alex G. Yeah.
Close the ice cream.
Okay, it wasn't me. Was it?
Yeah.
I did? I touched the ice cream?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Remember last night?
Yeah, I do remember grabbing some chocolate chunks in there.
Yeah. Probably ate all of them.
Okay, Lily, it's really not time to like... Witch Moon. I'm working harder to get my shit together to make myself available to help if homeschool is decided because the parents work right now and they have to work. Exactly that way. School didn't even like me. I was considered a bad fish. Witch Moon says, I do know, but school teacher said she's the only one in all of 4th, 3rd grade classes who can't get her shit together. It's fucked up. Wow. Love you, Witch Moon. She's so strong, right? That I get it. That way, the programming wouldn't let... Try programming me. I wouldn't let them. Yeah. I wasn't so good at that. I was good at faking when I needed to, and then when I was ready to bust out of like, yeah, fuck you, I won't do what you told me, then I would, right? Always stayed enough under the radar. Always been likable enough too that, you know, I wasn't hurting anybody when I was saying how I spoke and stuff. But I had a couple teachers who couldn't stand my fucking ass so much they passed me just to make sure they'd never see my face again, right? Exactly, Witch Moon. It is. Witch Moon, zoning out is a superpower. Exactly, it's called meditation. Adults right now are striving all the fucking time to do it. To be able to zone out is called meditation. Right? Could that be used? That word, you know what I mean? Like saying to your daughter, to put into perspective, zoning out means that she's able to go into a meditative state like that. And if everybody in the fucking world right now could go into like a zoning out meditative state, we wouldn't be in the fucking chaos and bullshit that we're in. Right? That's why it's wants to be taken out of the kids, right? That telling them that, you know, your head is in the clouds. Stop looking outside. No. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. But we were not meant to be in this world paying attention the way that... Love you. Yeah, school or skull. Yeah, Chase. Yeah, good one, Witch Moon. I completely agree. I loathe the label of learning disabled, and I'm actually tired of it. Me too, because it's just different abilities, right? If you compare a fish and an elephant and their ability to climb a tree, they're both pretty, you know what I mean? They don't do that. They don't do that. And that quote's been on Facebook and around forever. So teachers hear that. Teachers see that. So why the fuck do teachers become teachers to listen to the system is what still blows my mind, right? If adults didn't agree to be doing this to our children, we wouldn't be in this state either. It's the hierarchy of who makes up curriculum is not the teachers, guys? It's the fucking puppet show puppeteers above. Most teachers are actually in a burnout 3/4 of the year here in Canada. Yeah, for real. And so many teachers, I witnessed it with Amy being in high school. So many teachers will walk in a class saying, I don't agree with the curriculum I have to teach you. I'm going to teach you what I have to teach you. I'm going to give you some side stuff that's important. And we're going to flow as best as we can this year. Because teachers are actually saying, I need to keep my job. I love teaching, but I'm not going to program you the way they told me to. But I'm going to, you know, work around everything I need to teach. I'm going to work around what's my job to teach you and then give you a bigger perspective in as many ways as I can. Like, for real. Blessed be those fucking teachers that my daughter had in high school, right? That came in saying, I'm not going to program you the way they want me to. Back in the day, you had one teacher in a fucking barn right? A bunch of kids, different ages, came from wherever, and you had one teacher who decided what she taught kids with what she had. One teacher would, like, be in a small rural town and have children from a certain age to a certain age, and she'd have to fucking figure it all out, right? She had to figure it all out. Go watch a little fucking version of Little House on the Prairie just once to, like, grasp where we're at as a fucking system right now that makes no sense. How can somebody who's up here doesn't even teach kids anymore? Some people never have even been a teacher, but they choose the curriculum. Like, how the fuck? And the curriculum here in Canada, it changes every year. So when my children were in school, they had 3 years apart, and how Samuel learned to read and do math, by the time Amy got to school 3 years later, it wasn't the same. And then we're not allowed to say how we know, because every year they've got different ways that they're supposed to learn. So what we learn, what we know, we're learning all the fucking time to fucking catch up to these fucking school systems of, like, 2 + 2 = fucking 4, but I want you to do it this way this year, and then this way this year, and then this way this year. Like, what the fuck? Like, people are so confused because of the system of it. That's it. Anita says, my son says, when I was young, there was no truth. Yeah, Witch Moon, that's the delicate part, right? Because at this point, she has, the whole house to take care of, the fucking job, the fucking everything. So yeah, Witch Moon, I'm trying not to push my daughter away in the meantime by all of my strong feelings. Thanks to having so much to myself here, I'm able to do this now for family, and I'm grateful. Yeah, that's the thing, Witch Moon, is that it's like when people want to talk to me about how I am already doing this, right? Lily Rose is not in school. She's unschooled. There are things that I'll never fucking, you know what I mean? That's it. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard because my family's on a whole opposite spectrum of, their thoughts and projections. Anita says, I zoned out at school all the time, and I actually passed with flying colors, Angie. They just never noticed. Yeah, Anita, some kids actually fell under the radar of being, targeted as zoning out. I completely get what you're saying. Anita, you always make things sound good and feel better, G. Oh, thank you, Anita. Love you. Yeah, exactly, Witch Moon. I've been teaching my daughter because Layla has the same as me stuff. So we're peas and carrots, me and her. Yeah, that's it, eh? We're peas and carrots, me and her. And that's the thing about me and Lily, is that we learn completely differently. So we're not peas and carrots. So it's not easy for me to teach her something because I'm like, she loves me, but I'm like, right? So she learns like autodidact alone better because right now there are no outside perspectives, people, in our reality, right? Throw in like a best friend who's got a gamer mind, and then she'd be like, certain things like would just said once would, pivot her into other awarenesses because when I speak, like I can see it. She zones out in a way that I'm like the fucking Charlie Brown adult, right? We don't have the same like ways that our little hamster turns in there. So my hamster's going and I'm going, and I can see her hamster going like, whoa, retreat. Oh, I swear. I love you, Witch Moon. Yeah, it's a great analogy. Thank you. Yeah. Boom, Witch Moon. Teachers don't pick the curriculum here, and now schools are even short-staffed. Exactly. So that's the thing, eh? Imagine being a teacher right now. I'm going to say for how it is in Ontario. In Ontario, they basically are just getting, like, orders of how things are going to go. Instead of like it has been every year since like whenever that they at the the end of one year know what curriculum to start, what they do to start building their their year. They've been hanging around like puppets waiting. Teachers are in burnout from the fear of the masks, the being responsible for children, and you know what I mean. I had somebody say to me, because she knows a teacher, and she said like last year her friend was sick, literally sick before school started. Like she's so sick because it was affecting her body, how scared she was of being responsible for the masks, all the mandates that change all the time. And then I looked at this person and I was like, you would rather Lily Rose be in school right now knowing that a teacher is fucking sick before she goes back to school, instead of being proud of us that we're not in that fucking system. Right? Think about it. When you actually know teachers and speak to them and they're telling you how fucking terrified they are, that what if something happens, or like some teachers like completely are in fear of the C and the V and all that stuff, and then they have to go do their job anyways. Why would you want anybody like that teaching your kids? Why do people allow their children to go into a building with anybody that they don't even really fucking personally know? If you couldn't hang around and hang out with the teacher, if you don't even know the fucking principal, if the teachers at your school are strangers, why would you even want to send your kids to be with them? Why would you trust anybody to teach your kids anything unless you actually know them? That's the thing that, like, what the fuck? Our kids are a commodity. People give birth in order to say, status-wise, I had 2 kids. Oh, I'm a doctor, I do this, and my children are at this school, and they do these lessons, and everybody else takes care of my fucking kids but me. Everybody else takes care of my fucking kids but me. Good one, Alex. At our graduation exam, the children hid the video cam and the mask so they could copy. Of course. I never thought of it. Masks at least would have one advantage for kids. They could fucking find ways to fucking cheat. Yeah. Which, man, it drains me, but I keep going. Also not being gentle because not to get the door shut on me by the other kid. Yeah. Yeah, Anita. I was like never seen at school. I felt invisible. Yep. I would have seen you. You would have been a part of me since like the moment I saw you. I know that for sure. Yeah, which moon? Exactly, honey. Everything feels hard right now. Yeah, I need to. Loves you, sweetie. My son would spew before school from the nervousness. In the end, he just couldn't even go anymore. Alex, I was the pretty boy at school. The girls loved me. Alex. Which means says, oh, Alex, the girls still love you. Yeah, for self. It is. It's the separation tactic to feed the fear to keep us controlled. Yeah. Alpha Self says, me would have hung out with you, Anita. Yeah. That's the way that I was in high school. We were the clickless clique. So what does that mean? The clickless clique means that we had people from all. When we found whoever it was, like especially me, I've always been a gatherer and a recruiter, like meaning, you know what I mean? That girl that just found one person and then like, hey, you want to come out, hang out with us? And then boom, she's my best friend, right? But that was important. It always has been. We were the ones that even if you weren't a part of us, you were a part of us if you wanted to be there. The only really thing was like, don't fuck around because we don't take no shit. So what does that mean? We were jokey, we were funny, we were loud, we fucking did shit. But there was no inner fucking, there was no inner bullshit with our people. Does that mean that we didn't get pissed off at each other sometimes? Yeah, but we didn't separate and you know, like, you know, turn and be on our own, right? If people were having issues within our groups, it was either stay the fuck out, not my circus, not my monkey, if two people aren't agreeing right now, or, you know, like if it was really needed, you know, figure out the way. But yeah, for self, me was a part of many groups growing up and still now. You always had one or two close friends at school. That's awesome, Anita. Better to have the one or two really close that are real than a whole bunch that were not, right? I think that's, excuse me, the big deception of for kids is when you realize, you know, who your true friends are, when you thought everybody had your back. And then when you start to grow up and you realize, like, whoa, not everybody really does, and the falling away, right? The falling away of your naivete of, like, whoa. Like, these people don't, you know, they don't. Yeah, exactly, Chase. That's the thing, eh? We are taught not to trust ourselves. So in turn, we trust a government-controlled mind. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Think about it though, eh? Like, just, I don't know.
I'm happy I'm very hungry yet.
You are hungry? Yeah, me too. Aw, that's nice, Infinite Plane. I would hang out with you and everyone here. Yeah. Exactly, Witch Moon. Everything is going to work out, and I'm practicing everything I've been learning on my own recovery and knowing since I started showing up for myself. Yeah. And even if the role that you play, Witch Moon, is of just making sure that you always love your granddaughter unconditionally and that she always knows that you love her, that's already a bigger role than a lot of, you know, family ever plays right now, right? So having grandma to go to, and, you know, always you're going to look at her with that cherishing way that you think she's perfect, is exactly what will get her through. You can't choose. You can be there to support if your daughter chooses certain choices, but you can't change anything unless it's meant to be a part of her and your guys' journey as a family. But being the grandma that no matter what, you love your granddaughter is already more than words. It's already more than some people will ever have in their lifetime. Right? You know what I'm saying? That thing where my grandparents, like, lived farther from me. They didn't live close. But I had my grandma that, you know, even if it was once a month, because we're talking the 80s, right? Like, where you don't get to just reach out the way that little kids can reach out now really fast, right? Everything's a lot easier now. You can talk to your granddaughter on some level every single day, even if you don't live nearby, through a phone or through texting or through, you know, video calls, and be that pillar of support, of just love, as she, you know, follows the journey that is her journey. Because that's the thing, is that we want things to change now, but depending on how, you know, what reality, what timelines are chosen, these are the children that are going to grow up, and they will not let their fucking kids go through this again, and they will change the system. And by being in the system right now, if a child is like 6 or 7, 8 years old, guess what? There's a lot of children writing poetry, doing things, and then exposing, saying how they feel, and not allowing for, like, you know, being completely buried. So a lot of children have started write songs. They already have gifts and stuff flowing, and depending on the timelines that, you know, a kid can't just go out and decide make certain things, but depending on the timeline, they will when they can, or they will earlier, right? There are children all over the world now that manifest things for real, and it's shown and shared. So they are the ones that are going to bring the change, but how, we can't know, right? We just know that's it. If we as adults and, you know, grandparents and the elders of us, because that's what we are, we're the elders, whether you're like Chase that's 20 something, you know what I mean, or us above, are not going to allow for certain things for what we have choices in, the ripple effect will always only get bigger, right? I love you, Witchmoon. Yeah, you do get passionate about things. That's good. That's good. All for self. Loving you, Lady Double G. Thank you for being you. Loving you all here. Thank you for just being you. Thank you as well. I know, Witchmoon. That's the thing. I already have 3 grandchildren and I'm not seeing or talking to right now. Exactly. They'll be back, sweetie. It'll be more amazing than ever when it's meant to be. But yeah. Yeah. Anita, me loves you. Me proud of your dad for instilling that in you. Anita, my dad showed me how to believe in myself, and when he died, it was the hardest. He never said much, but he showed me a lot. That gives me shivers head to toe, Anita. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. And if that, just that written out, he never said much, but he showed me a lot. If people could just start to embody that, guess what? We understand you don't always know what to say, but show us, right? Show us. It's not just about kids, it's about adults. You don't have to, like, you can't sometimes be eloquent, know the words, say the right thing, but you can do the right thing. Don't matter all these people yapping all over the place who is embodying certain things, showing the way, showing, you know, guiding in a way that's of action, embodiment, and not just rah, 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 right? Never said much, but he showed me a lot. Loves you, sweetie. That's important. Witchmoon, I instilled in my kids that if they believe anything, please let it be in yourself. Yeah. Believe in yourself. Oh, thanks, Infinite Plane. I appreciate a peaceful place to hang out on this platform. Right on. Thank you. I don't know if you've noticed within the last 2 days, because you've come in for a bit, and I know you had popped in before in my live streams, but I just flow with what's coming through, right, for what's needed. So that's it. That's all. That's, you know, whatever's needed on a certain day and whatever flows. Whoever chooses to write things for me to bounce off of is what the flow is going to be during any given stream. And the reflection of what we've been talking about today, you know, I say we because it's like I wouldn't be talking about this if we weren't the comments weren't all there, but it's important, you know, the children, what the reality that we want for our kids, eh? Witchmoon, I get really quiet when I'm working on these things, so I stressed that in my video last night because I've slowed down my line and social media stuff in the last month or two. Fergalicious Trace, I'm still here. I fell back asleep. You have changed shirts. Yes, I changed shirts because it's getting hotter. So the coolness of earlier started to feel like uncomfortable on me, so I just changed layers. Thanks, Witch Moon. I always appreciate that you're here, Genevieve and family. Love y'all big. I can't imagine not having, a spot to bounce stuff off of anymore, right? Once you learned that there's like minds and that we can gravitate towards each other when it's time, right? Like you said, you're not always present, but you're still always here, sweetie, right? And it's important. What you're going through is is a mirror of so many parents and grandparents right now, right? All over the world, depending on, it might not be right now that they're realizing this. It might only be in a month or 2 years when it's like somebody's own grandchild or somebody's own kid that starts to get analyzed. But especially for us that have been moms, that we've been through the school system and that we've been mothers and fathers, caregivers in general, whomever, right? Not just moms, but, we've been to the pup show, we've seen the fucking rides, and that's why that thing of wanting to have a community base, like to have a home ground that's, mine, of like, guess what? There's like 20 of us and we're all in this together, because in this 20, it's not all just adults, right? There's kids. And even if it was just, 5 kids together that could thrive with Lily instead of her being like completely alone. And I'm talking like Nate, who's like 6 years old, and that autism vibe that he has, with a girl like Lily Rose. And then you got Angelfish's children with their 2 little different perspectives and their, go-to, and then full circle, like I'm just putting out the people that are here in my vibration at all times. Anita, who your son is a little bit older, but like how he's learned, imagine the perspective of just hanging out in a free setting and how fast kids would thrive of learning and bouncing off each other. How? Right? Because there's no age within kids. When kids get together, they don't need the structure of classes. And sometimes that's what actually hurts kids right now in the school system, is that they're put into classes because they're a certain age, but they're all of different mindsets. So some children would thrive by being with older children, and other children would thrive by being with little children. So what's the best way to know if you've actually learned something? You teach it to others. So especially slow learners that don't learn the same way, if they were in a system or a community or in a setting where, guess what? Imagine how proud like a child who's discovered how to learn about a certain subject starts to show little kids. Instead of moving on and you got to learn this, and this, now it's a different year, it's a different semester, it's a different subject. So go, Joe, go. You finally know about this. Well, here, we're going to slam you with this. If instead they were integrating little kids' mindsets to learn that, and then boom, they would switch to something else that they're ready to learn about all at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like how beautiful that would be. That thing of it's not just children that are sponges. We are all sponges to want to learn new things. We just can't be bombarded with what other people want us to learn. So if you had 20 people living in a setting where, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's never really cooked good, but is watching somebody cook all the time, how that person who thinks, I can't cook. Well, yeah, you can, baby. Yeah, you can. I've taught people to cook who had no idea how to cook. They came into my restaurant and they were a certain position, and it was like, I would need you here, but I don't really need you here when I was managing a motel. Or it was like I said, like, I need you to be everywhere. And it's like, well, I can do everything except cook. And it's like, what does that mean? Would you try? And it's like, well, yeah, I would try, but you'd have to teach me. It's like, okay. And having that dude above my shoulder who's like, watching me crack eggs, like, with my one hand and looking at me saying, I could never do that. And I was like, oh yeah, you'll be doing it within a few days. Well, no, I couldn't. I was like, yeah, you will, because I trust you to learn it. And I don't care how many eggs you fucking scrap, and you're going to learn it because you're intrigued with me doing it. Means that you can do it if you want to, and if I allow you to actually try it, right? So people that came in to work a certain position and then became my most productive people on the line, because guess what? Instead of, when you hire somebody who knows they can cook, and, I've been to chef school and I've done this and I've worked everywhere. And then they come into your kitchen and they want to cook the way that they've been fucking taught. They want to make stuff how they want to make it. And it's like, dude, this is my restaurant. This is my recipe. This is how it's got to look. And here's how open I am. It's like, you think you got good ideas? Good. Then you think of the 2 menu of the day options and you can invent 2 plates every fucking day. If you want to use your imagination, 2 plates every fucking day. Do you want to be responsible for that? No. Well, then fuck you. You're making everything the way I tell you, right? If you go to a place and you had the best Caesar salad in your whole fucking life and you go back 2 weeks later because you're craving that Caesar salad, do you want a chef that's going to like put like what he wants in it? No. You're paying for what you want. But if you look on the menu of the day and say, oh, there's a Caesar salad that's the one that tastes like the one I'm craving, I love so much. I came here to pay 15 fucking bucks for a baby Caesar salad. But then you see on the menu that, oh, there's like a Caesar salad with a twist of blah, 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 whatever it is, whatever. But people, when, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much that we can learn from each other when we allow, and kids are the same, but so are adults, right? We've been programmed to like do shit and be doing shit that we don't even like doing. Oh, I'm getting hot and hungry. Been on for 3 hours. It's 2:35. Yes, ma'am. Definitely always here. Exactly, Witch Moon. You're like, within always. Just can't always be present with your... That's normal. It's okay. Yeah, that way it is all about the kids. Yeah, Anita, exactly. My son thrives around adults. Yep, exactly. There are some kids who, like, just that thing of, they're not a fucking kid inside of them the same way that other kids are. Like Lily. Oh my God. Anita. Lily Rose was 4 and 5 years old looking at other kids who were either her age or older and saying, like, what are those babies doing? Why are they acting like that? Why is he doing that? Right? So, like, Lily had never seen a kid have a fucking hissy fit and just lie there until somebody picked him up and, so Lily was like 4 and observing a kid having a hissy fit and going like, why is he lying there like that? Why is he doing that? She just didn't even grasp. Why would he do that? Or she would like, because we we had a lot of inflow of a lot of people in our life for 3 years of her life, from 4 to 6, 7, 8, and like the kids that would be getting in trouble and doing stuff all the time and hurting themselves, and she'd be like, why would he jump off that again? If he already knows he hurt himself the last time, why would he be jumping off there again, Mom? And it's like, some kids just like to hurt them fucking selves all the time, right? And she's like, I'm not like that. I don't like hurting myself on purpose, right? Like, fuck. Just confused her that, kids had the free will to choose, and they would choose to do something repetitive that would actually hurt them. Exactly, Anita. Kids should be learning about the tree of life, meditation, spiritual exercises, vibration, and frequency energy. That way, I had a lot of growing up to do to become a kid again. Yeah, Witch Moon. I have to do several things hands-on several times and keep it in practice, or I lose it or I don't get it. Same. And the more that I'm examined to see if I'm doing something right in the steps that somebody else wants me to, I either freeze and can't do it at all, or I fuck everything up because I'm being analyzed of how I do something. I'm a chef that walks into a kitchen and I don't give a shit. I don't care how you're supposed to hold a fucking chef knife and how you're supposed to, like, sharpen your blade. It's like, guess what? I'm self-taught everything. I didn't go to no fucking cush school. And if I did, one of the reasons I never considered it is, like, I'll fucking hold a knife how I want to. But how's the result? So I've worked with chefs who, you know, came from, you know, prestigious culinary schools and did shit a certain way. And then it's like, okay, you got a fucking this, I got this, let's see who gets certain things done like faster or like more you know, perfect, that aligned. You know, when you're julienne, when you're cutting a certain style, can you fucking do this for a fucking hour and it's all gonna stay consistent? You know what I mean? Like yeah, I'm not doing it the way you're doing it. One time I had somebody like look at me up and down and like, that's not how you cut a pepper. And I was like, well, okay, that's how I do. Oh, look at my way. And it's like, da 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 da. And it's like, okay, well, look at my way. And then at the end, my way has zero waste. Zero. Like fucking zero. The way I cut a pepper, unless there's a spot on that pepper that needs, you know, to be out of there, there's zero waste. Whereas his pepper, like, there was bits of fucking green and fucking shit everywhere. I was like, right there in what you have in that one pepper is at least 2 slices of green pepper. I was like, when we do like 50 green peppers at a time, your 2 slices per pepper is actually 2 full portions of a fajita later on. So don't look at me and tell me that I'm cutting away when there's zero fucking waste with mine. And like, you might look like it doesn't matter if you're wasting something right now because it's just a little bit. But when every little bit adds up, because you have a restaurant that's going to pump out, you know, 400 to 1,000 plates a day, right? It's a big fucking deal. How do planes save on, you know, their meals? They take one little piece of broccoli out. Boom. They take one fucking potato out. Boom. They take one little 3 peas. Boom. And then they've made their plates for all their fucking planes. They're making, you know what I mean? That's it. One little thing, when it's mass production, shows in the long run. You know, it's duh. It's, you know, how many times have I said, you know? 1441. Right on, Infinite Play. I need to call and check up on my mom. Witch Moon, I love y'all. I'm never gonna be an adult. It feels gross. Yeah, Lily gets it. Right on, Witch Moon. I got a ride to the farmer's market, so I need to gather me some bras and pants. Go ahead. Me loves you. Have a beautiful day. Same, Anita. I'm self-taught everything too. I learn way better on my own. I copied my dad's actions and learned that way. That's beautiful. Yeah, heavy boobs and stuff. Strap them and go. Yeah. Mine are not strapped in. I'm like, whoop. Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna pull a card and I think I'll be done, guys. I'm getting very hungry, and before I start to shake, like shake and bake. Me so hungry. Six and 2, Turtle Spirit. I'm going to leave it up to whatever resonates for you. I'm not reading nothing, nothing about it. That inner turtle, Boom, Anita. Turtle sink. Good, honey. Turtle. Turtle Island. Right? Turtle. The hard shell. The ability to go within the shell. Protection. Protected. The numbers of, right? Everything in there. Just gonna leave it at that. Yeah, the turtle is your cue. Same here. Loves you guys. Thank you so much for today. 14:44 Eastern Time. My battery says it's at 44. It's time to head out the door. Me done like dinner. Oh wait, me gonna go get dinner.